Well, the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight. They're inside the Frost Bank Center taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. They'll tip things at 8:30. It will be televised on TNT. Victor Wembanyama officially out for tonight's ball game. He's got that right knee contusion. Cowboys lost their fifth straight game last night. What about Mike McCarthy? Adam Schefter of ESPN reported that many believe Patriots head coach Bill Belichick is next if Jerry moves on.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Did you really say if Jerry Jones decides to move on
Jerry
from
said
Mike
today
McCarthy
on his radio show that it's overblown that Mike McCarthy's lost control.
It's punishment to make him sit through all this crap.
Why not? Well, he needs to hire Aaron Rodgers. He brings Aaron Rodgers down here. He can get rid of whoever he wants. Aaron gets rid of a GM today. Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Yeah. No. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix, the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I do believe that Jerry Jones believes that Mike McCarthy will do a fine job coaching over the next 7 weeks. And then he'll find another job. Right now is not the time to fire a coach. Jerry has said that. I believe that. And I think I know Jerry Jones well enough that he's not going to reward Mike McCarthy by sending him home 2 months early and collecting a paycheck. I do believe this is more punishment than it would be a reward. I mean, you were watching the game last night. I mean, every time they showed Mike McCarthy rolling his eyes, I had a "Wanna Get Away" commercial playing in my head. Jerry is not going to let Mike McCarthy get away before this crap is over. That would be a reward from Mike McCarthy, and Jerry is not going to do that midseason.
No, he's not going to do that midseason, but there's no way Mike McCarthy comes back. That football team is a train wreck, and there's no way he comes back. You have to make a change. You absolutely have to. I just don't see how that would uplift anyone if at the end of the season Jerry said, guess what? We have complete faith in Mike McCarthy. We're going to give him a 3-year extension.
I mean, look, he did it with Jason Garrett.
Well,
and with Jason Garrett, he didn't penalize Jason Garrett for not winning the games when they were dealing with a lot of injuries. They do have a lot of injuries. Reasons, excuses. I look at Mike McCarthy and what he did with a healthy Dak Prescott, and that offense regressed. That deserves not getting your contract renewed. Last year, look, first year as Mike McCarthy as play calling, that offense was incredible. Got off to a slow start. The way that year finished, no reason to give him an extension, no reason to fire him. Bring him back and let's see what happens. And we saw what we're seeing. Now, no run game. Is that Mike McCarthy's fault or is that general manager Jerry? Offensive line is crap. Now, there's young players in there. They did draft and are starting 2 rookies. But have you seen those offensive linemen get developed at any point this season? Even the ones that were there, Terrence Steele, have seemingly regressed. That's coaching.
Zach Martin has regressed.
Well,
Zach
Martin hasn't regressed. He's just gotten old. Father Time is still undefeated.
Well, that's fine. Whatever you want to say. Please ride off into the sunset, Zach Martin. I hate seeing what we saw last night. He got hurt, and if he's hurt, then he's hurt. He's not gonna fake that. So
he's injured.
The guy is a warrior.
Yeah.
I think it was Troy Aikman that said that last night. So look, there's so many holes in this play, and I know that we had this conversation in the office, and you're the optimist. And God bless you, Jason.
Here we go.
But there's a lot of holes on this team. And for me, he didn't give Mike McCarthy a contract, but yet he pays Dak Prescott. None of it makes any sense to me. I think you let them both play out the season and see what happens. And the same thing would have happened that we're seeing right now. and then you move on and you rebuild this team. But he's not going to do that, so that's ancient history. Now what do? You got one piece left, and that's Micah Parsons.
We will spend plenty of time talking about last night's loss to the Houston Texans. And for all of you Houston Texans fans,
James Pledger,
all of you except James, you have the opportunity to call in and gloat. Today is your day. Celebrate. I have seen more Texans gear today than I have this entire season. James Pledger has a nice-looking half-zip on.
That is nice looking.
That's a good-looking half-zip.
Not bad.
Grumpy-ass Greg Shelton.
Oh, no.
Wearing his Texans hat, which, my goodness, that thing must be from like 2013 when we were the Texans affiliate. It was one of those free promo hats that we had years ago. But again, he hasn't invested in his team because Shelton doesn't spend his money on anything, but he is wearing the free cap that he got probably more than a decade ago. But he's wearing it today. We got my car washed today. Saw 2 people wearing Texans gear today. And went to Whataburger for lunch. Saw a guy wearing a Texan shirt in there. Today is your day. I mean, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. But to talk about the rebuilding and the holes of the Dallas Cowboys, and my goodness, we'll have months to talk about this in the offseason. When you look at the holes on this team, and with what Joe just said, there's a lot of holes. I don't care if you've said I didn't say that, because that's not true. There are a lot of holes.
I said you're an optimist. That's what I said.
I don't know that it's as bad as it seems when you start getting some of those healthy players back. And I do think that this year, and I've said this before, I've said it for weeks. Hell, there's a video, go find it on Instagram at SA Sports Star, that this year was not about winning. This year it was a bridge year to get to next year to figure out who the new coach is going to be and what their pieces are. And I think this was by design with the way Jerry handled the offseason, ultimately signing Dak and CeeDee. And as I said the whole time, you never prepared for life after Dak, which is why you were forced to sign Dak Prescott, forced or however you want to couch it. But that was a decision Jerry made maybe 2 years ago when it was time to get his replacement in the building, and they never did. So you knew Dak was going to get his deal. Jerry knew Dak was going to get his deal. Jerry waited till September. If he does that deal in March, he could have gone free agent shopping. Same with CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jones deliberately delayed those deals so he could say, well, we have no money. Because when he was saying that, it was true. As soon as those deals were done, now you have cap space, but there's no free agency is over. Everybody worth a damn is already signed. That was by design. He wanted to develop and see young players play, and we're seeing that. Go listen to Mike McCarthy last night. 4 or 5 different times he brought up young players make mistakes. We're young. We're doing this. We're doing that. To me, that's a shout out to Jerry Jones saying, you wanted to see all these young players play? Boss, this is what you get.
Well, that baffles me then, because all I keep hearing is we signed Dak Prescott because Jerry doesn't want to start over. Well, Jerry's starting over, whether you like it or not. If you're going with all these young players, that's exactly what he's doing. He's starting over, and we're seeing the results of it right now. It's an awful train wreck of a football team. That's the way it is. So Jerry has started over. Now, how long is it going to take to put a winning team back on the field? I think it's going to be a while. Unless Jerry finally lives up to the hype of all in and just goes out and spends money recklessly and goes over the cap and does whatever. This is going to take a couple, 2 or 3 years to rebuild this football team. There's so many holes they're going to lose. DeMarcus Lawrence, you got to refill that. Yeah, Mozzie Smith sucks. Troy Aikman said that last night.
Yep.
He's out. So many holes on the offense that you got to fill. You got to find a running back. You've got to, again, you're going to have more young guys on the offensive line. This is not going to be a quick fix. It's just not, unless you do something drastic.
And again, even drastic. I don't know that it has to take as long as you're thinking because of what they are doing right now. Yeah, young players are playing. Those 2 rookie offensive linemen, you're either going to know or you're not. And you're right. There'll be another one there. Maybe they get somebody in free agency. The biggest hole on offense, you got to find a real running back, or maybe 2 of them, and they can be found. Mingo will have 6-7 games to see, do we have a second wide receiver or do we need to go find one of those opposite CeeDee Lamb? Tight ends, you're good there. So, all right, now you go to the defensive side. You've got Nealand and you've got Sam Williams that are both hurt. So you already have essentially your replacement for DeMarcus Lawrence. Linebacker, secondary, when Bland gets healthy,
if Bland gets healthy.
He still has a foot attached, so as long as that's there, it will ultimately get better. But you go back in 2015, the Cowboys were 4-12. 2016, they were 13-3. In 2020, Dak got hurt, they were 6-10. Year after that, they were 12-5. It doesn't have to be 4 years of 8-8 to get back in business.
But you're going to have to get lucky as hell. That's the bottom line, unless you go out and spend some of that money. And Jerry Jones' history is not doing that. Very rarely does he do that. Draft and develop. That's what they do. And that philosophy hasn't worked. And you have great regular seasons at times, and that's fantastic. But nothing else.
Well, no playoff success to speak of in forever. And I mean forever. But they've been competitive. And that might be the one bright spot last night for Cowboy fans. It was competitive for 3 quarters. At no point did I think that the Cowboys were going to win that game last night. Don't get me wrong. But it was competitive. And it was you, Joe Reinagel, that yesterday talked about moral victories, that talked about being competitive in a game. They didn't have to win. They had to compete. And up until you saw the Bad News Bears show up with Cooper Rush fumbling and Tyler Guyton recovering it and thinking he's, the refrigerator Perry, and then he fumbles and it's a scoop and score, that's a 10-point game. You had a missed field goal, then a field goal that you took off the board. It could have been a one-possession game going into the fourth quarter. But it's the Cowboys, and they end up getting blown out 34-10, but it really, really wasn't that bad of a game. And I don't know if it's because the Cowboys played that well or you really still have a lot of question marks about the Houston Texans. Now, that said, the Texans, they played solid offensively, and I know their defense had 5.
Really? When did they play solid offensively?
Mixon, I thought, was pretty good, and they kept C.J. Stroud from getting killed.
Can I jump on the Bobby Slowick sucks train?
Yes.
Some of the plays that man calls are just like, I'm going, what the hell are you doing?
On third and
inches, and you throw a pass 20 yards down the field? What the hell is that? I want to jump on the Bobby Slowick is not doing a very good job. I won't say he sucks, but not doing a very good job.
I mean, that said, I expected Micah to get some sacks last night. The Cowboys only got to C.J. Stroud one time.
They did.
One sack last night. So solid play by that offensive line to keep their quarterback upright. Mixon ran for 109 yards, granted 45 on one play. But when you look at it, 257 yards through the air, 141 on the ground. It was a solid game for Houston. Defensively, and they had 5 interceptions last week. And they might have had 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 if their secondary guys could catch.
Yes.
Because Cooper Rush threw some balls yesterday that the Texans secondary needs some time on the old jugs machine.
Well, and then the Texans get screwed on a horrible roughing penalty or whatever you call that, personal foul. Jalen Petrie with a hit on Schoonmaker was a thing of beauty.
It was.
And he got penalized for it. It was an absolute thing of beauty. It was a terrible call.
You can't hurt a Michigan man.
Well, it's not even hurting him. They said it was helmet to helmet. It was nothing even close to that.
That's why they need an eye in the sky. That was a bad miss.
It was awful. That was terrible. But you're right. I think Cooper Rush could have thrown 3 or 4 interceptions if the Texans' defensive backs can catch.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they had – I know there were a couple of pick-6 opportunities that they just botched. And it was like they're juggling the football. But so, look, the Texans are the Texans. They've got some good players. They still need to get healthy. But as far as a serious Super Bowl contender in the AFC, no.
No.
They're not.
No. Let's talk about it. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagle210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. The station, at SA Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. The good, the bad, the ugly. Cowboys, Texans. Let's dive in. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, you know testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. So if you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, could be low T. Best thing to do for you is to go get your levels checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Don't put it off. Not all TRT is the same. At Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. You get that personalized TRT plan that's more advanced than your basic standard therapy that other providers offer. The professionals at Synergenics are known for TRT treatment. They are also experts with GLP-1 weight loss, where you can be evaluated for prescription weight loss medication. So maybe you're just dealing with weight issue, muscle tone, you're trying to get back to your best self. Easy thing to do. Go get checked at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. The website, synergenicshealth.com, SYNERGENX health.com. Book that initial appointment. Take that first step now. Synergenicshealth.com for Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone, and trust me, it can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road across from the quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T levels checked. Free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then, you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan. And finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hey there, Cowboy fans! San Antonio Sports Star has something special just for you. Imagine this, you and a loved one, and the excitement of a Dallas Cowboys home game under the bright lights at AT&T Stadium. Well, thanks to AARP and San Antonio Sports Star, we're giving you the chance to make that dream come true. It's easy. Just visit SASportsStar.com to enter for your shot at winning 2 tickets to see the Cowboys live. Whether it's your first game or your 100th, nothing compares to being there, surrounded by fellow fans, soaking up that incredible energy. And hey, this isn't just about football. It's about creating memories with someone close to you. AARP knows how important that is, and that's why they're proud to sponsor this special giveaway. So don't wait. Head over to SASportsStar.com. Enter and picture yourself in those seats, sharing an unforgettable day. We can't wait to send you to the game. Visit SASportsStar.com to enter. SASportsStar.com.
If you're a bacon lover, boy, do I have good news for you. Hi, this is Mike Kilbasa, and we've just made our legendary dry-cured bacon available at H-E-B. This is bacon made the way it was made in the old days, with no water, no chemicals, just 4 simple ingredients and real hickory smoke. The result? A slow-crafted bacon with a bold flavor our fans know and love, now in a new package. Life is too short for watered-down bacon, so if you don't see Kielbasa dry-cured bacon at your H-E-B, ask the store manager or visit Kielbasa.com to find it at a store near you.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. On Thursday, The Blitz is going to be live out at the Hangar Bar on Potranco to get you ready for Thursday night football. Pittsburgh and Cleveland will be out there with their friends from Flight by Yingling. Your chance to win passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party on December 9th, plus tickets to Dallas, Cincinnati.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game that cannot get flexed. We'll explain in a bit.
Strange reason why,
yeah.
too, yes.
Brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. The Hangar Bar out on Potranco on Thursday.
Going to be fun. Always fun hanging out with the folks from Flight by Yingling.
And I know we've got tickets to give away. They always bring a lot of other swag as well.
Always. Yeah.
As well. Just looking at some of the comments on YouTube, because I said it was a competitive game. For the Cowboys, I think that was until the final score, until the fourth quarter, until that stupid fumble. And again, is this Cowboys being competitive? Or if you're a Texan fan, being honest, how good are you really? Because you look at what the Cowboys did last night, and feel free to chime in today, Texan fan, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Cooper Rush threw for 354 yards. That's damn near 100 yards more than C.J. Stroud. Cooper Rush was 32 of 55. Now, there's a couple of things I've got issues with, all right? But the fact that Cooper Rush threw for 350-plus in a game is crazy. But why is that guy throwing the ball 55 times in a football game?
Wow, that's a good question. What was it, Dak Prescott, if he throws over 40, the Cowboys lose?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the stat we're always talking about?
Your lead running back, Rico Dowdle, had 10 carries.
That's it.
Play caller was horse.
Yes, he was. The hell was he thinking last night? Now, I know Rico didn't have any, 10 carries, 28 yards. His longest was 9.
He had 2 of those.
Deuce Vaughn had 4 carries. Zeke had 1.
Did you hear, and everybody feels the same way I do, it's such a joke to have Deuce Vaughn out there. Did you hear Joe Buck? Yeah, don't adjust your TV. I mean, it's such a, it's a clown show to have that dude in there. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Minutes. Yep. It really is. And again, are you playing young players? What are you trying to do there? Now, I do like the fact that you did have some young players getting some meaningful snaps, but they are, I like that they were more young players that you figure have a future with the football team. I got to say, Schoonmaker played well last night. That might have been one of his better games as an NFL wide receiver. Brevin Spann-Ford. And every time he did something as a play-by-play broadcaster, I know damn well Joe Buck was going through a sheet. Who the hell is – Brevin – yeah. And again, Brevin Spann-Ford does not roll right off the tongue and easy. He had a lot of snaps. Flournoy had a lot of snaps. And if that's what the rest of the season is, getting players like that, reps in meaningful situations, they can get better from that. But Deuce Vaughn, don't waste anybody's time.
I don't understand. Dalvin Cook must just suck. I mean, I'm not kidding. He must just
Can I collect
suck.
that beer before I leave for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, you can. I tell you, that dude must just be awful because, I mean, Zeke Elliott's playing last night, Deuce Vaughn's playing last night, and Dalvin Cook's nowhere to be found. Boy, you talk about a swing and a miss 3 straight times. Goodness gracious.
Brutal. Yeah,
Why do you even bring that guy in? It makes no sense.
I have no idea. I mean, and again, I thought it was, and if you guys disagree, fine. Tell me what you saw last night, but I thought it was a fairly competitive game for 3 quarters last night. And it did fall apart in the fourth. At no point did I think the Cowboys are going to put anything together to win that game. But I did think there for a while, well, maybe they won't lose by 20. And then you had the fumble. And then you had the late touchdown with about 3 minutes left by the Texans. And honestly, I was happy for Texans fans. I mean, you could see what it meant to those players. You could see Mixon, getting 3 touchdowns, and, that salute to Joe Reinagel. I know you needed me to have a big game, Big Joe, for your fantasy win. You were able to get that thanks to Joe Mixon last night.
Yes.
You actually won your game in the first half. He could have sat in the second, and you would have won your game. But when you look at it, the Cowboys had opportunity in that game that they just flat missed. Again, at no point did I think they would win. The missed field goal by Brandon Aubrey. Whew. And then you take the points off the board. And then you get no points because you got a dumb 4th down play. And then you had the fake punt early, which was dumb. But then you also had Cooper Rush miss a wide-open wide receiver that would have been a touchdown.
It would have been. That was Mingo. He was open because CeeDee Lamb had taken a couple of defenders with him, and Mingo broke open right there at the goal line. Would have been a touchdown, but Cooper Rush sailed the football right over his head. It wasn't even close, and he didn't have a chance. Mingo actually had 4 targets last night, but no catches. So I don't recall all 4 of them, to be totally honest with you, but I don't know if it was him, not catching the ball, or I don't recall that. But I just know that one play should have been a touchdown for Jonathan Mingo.
I by no means am a scout, but I don't know that I will ever throw or would ever call a throw with Cooper Rush on the run. I mean, he had that one rollout to CeeDee Lamb and threw it behind him. CeeDee was wide open. That would have been a big play. Throw it behind him. And, and again, CeeDee got his hands on it, had to turn. There was too much of that. Every time Cooper Rush was on some sort of rollout throw and was throwing with his feet not set, all those passes were off target. That is something that dude cannot do. I would take that out of the playbook if I'm Mike McCarthy. But then again, after every offensive lineman seemingly got hurt last night, he had no time. He was backpedaling and throwing the ball. It's hot potato time, and that's really when the Texans teed off.
I really think the first half, I thought the Cowboys' offensive line protected Cooper Rush pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, they really did. Will Anderson Jr. not being in there obviously made a difference. But who's the cat from Minnesota that they got?
Danielle Hunter.
That dude was a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He was a monster. Terrence Steele can't hold that man's jock.
Turnstile Terrence.
I'm telling you, that Danielle Hunter was just killing Terrence Steele all night long.
Imagine if Will Anderson had played. I'd rather not. But it could have been a lot uglier. Now, after the game, there's lots of video, if you believe everything you see on the internet, that this video was from last night. But apparently CeeDee and Diggs, they all went to the club last night after the game. And again, I know a lot of fans get upset by that after a loss, that guys go out and enjoy life.
I have no issue with that at all.
I have no issue with it. All of us, after you knock off of work, you go do something. That's their job. Go get dinner, go get drinks. A lot of people, a lot of athletes, a lot of players, people come in, family, friends, go to the game, and then you all go out afterwards. That said, when you lose a game and when you're losing, fans don't like to see that. And I get that, but I have no issue with it. But before he made it to the club, he did talk to the media, CeeDee Lamb did, about coping with losing.
It sucks, to be honest. I mean, it's not so much coping, it's moving on to the next one. I mean, you can't dwell on it. I mean, what happens in the past is now in the past. And we're going to go look at this film, correct what we need to, and we got to go out there and play better. Get in the end zone. We get in the end zone, we have a whole different conversation.
Well, yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, but that's true. But look, CeeDee Lamb, and he had a disgusted look on his face most of the night. And I know I've been hard on CeeDee Lamb for some of that, but I don't blame him last night. Cooper Rush is not the most accurate quarterback in the world. He's just not. And CeeDee Lamb there were a couple of times he was open, had an opportunity. And then again, Cooper Rush made a couple of throws that were pretty damn good. But overall, he's a backup for a reason. He never made it as an NFL starter. But, I don't blame CD for being a little bit frustrated, to say the least. And I would imagine the rest of the season is going to be just as frustrating.
You know, into your point there, it got called for offensive pass interference. If that ball is thrown up the numbers the way that route was directed, easy touchdown. Instead, CD had to turn into a defensive back, got called for OPI, made sure there wasn't an interception there to at least make sure it wasn't a turnover and the offense had another chance. Earlier in the year, I got on him, you got on him, because it seemed like there was a play where Dak had thrown a ball into the end zone and he knew he wasn't going to catch it and quit on the play instead of turning into that defensive back. So, to your point, I thought CD played a pretty damn good game last night.
He did.
What do you have, 8 catches on 12 targets?
90-something yards?
Yeah.
Is that about right? Something like that.
You know, there was that one pass that was behind him, got his hands on it, but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah.
And, man, that would have been a big play. That one towards the end zone. You know, a good throw. Not even a perfect throw, but a good throw up the numbers, leading in instead of going out. And based on the route that CD was running and the way everything was, that was just a bad throw by Cooper Rush. That's what it looked like. But either way, you know, he turned into a defensive back and kept that from being an interception when he was probably thinking that should have been a touchdown. And I think, you know, when he says if we get into the end zone, it's a different story. What I say yesterday, I thought it'd be 31-10. It was close. Or 31-13 is what I predicted.
34-10.
34-10, and, you know, they could have had 13. They did at one point, but they took those 3 off the board.
Let me tell you something that's going to blow your mind, Minix.
Uh-oh.
Will blow your mind.
Uh-oh.
If Dak Prescott's quarterbacking last night, Dallas wins that football game. I honestly believe that because they had the opportunities to score the football with better throws. If Prescott's in there last night, the Dallas Cowboys win that football game. Are you shocked? You're speechless?
I'm a little surprised that's coming from you. If I'd said that, you'd be blowing me up right now.
Never.
But I don't disagree with that. But then again, with what we've seen from Dak this year, I don't know. I mean, last night was a get-right game for the Houston Texans. And in some cases, I do think they got right in some areas, but they let the Cowboys hang around way too long.
Yep, they did.
Let's talk more about it coming up and see what GM Jerry had to say. It's kind of comical. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I know the Roo Pub was hopping last night for the game. Will be tonight. Got Spurs in action. Plan ahead for the weekend. Thursday night football. All the college football on Saturday, especially the Longhorn game. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch televisions, TVs all around. And when you get into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food, fantastic, all made from scratch. They have the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love their fried shrimp, great chicken sandwiches, so much more, appetizers, salads, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Morning Huddle.
I'm fully aware that I'm a bad singer and I'm singing ironically.
Well, make sure the audience is in on the joke.
And he was like, you sing just good enough that, like, maybe you think you're really good? I'm like, no, I think I'm a horrible singer. I just don't care. I'm having fun. It's like singing in your car. You don't have to be a good singer.
You do in my car.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at HEB. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out our tractor package deals. We're offering 0 down and 0 APR financing for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Auburn Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Semenix. Make sure you head over to sasportstar.com. If you haven't figured out what you're doing for Thanksgiving yet, we've got tickets to give away for that Cowboys-Giants game on Thanksgiving Day.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a turkey.
I mean, really, if you're sad, lonely, want to be around other sad people so you're not lonely, go to the Cowboys game. How do you even look? I know Jerry Jones is a master salesman. I mean, look, going to games is always a lot of fun, and I think you saw that last night. Although there were a lot of empty seats in that building last night. A lot of
Texan fans in that building.
A lot of Texans fans in that building. Although, and I know I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I go to a lot of games. Every game you go to, you see a lot of opponents' fans in there. It's a destination stadium because it's Jerry World. It's that kind of place. And I think a lot of Cowboy fans paid for their season tickets last night, selling them to Texans fans. They're going to have a nice Christmas because they sold to Texans fans. The concern for Jerry, and again, you look at the empty seats. Those seats are sold. Those were people that chose not to go.
Yeah.
And on a Monday night, I could see that. Where I was a little surprised, and it was R.J. Ochoa, our friend from bloggingtheboys.com, who was in the building last night there at the stadium. He sent a picture out mid-first quarter for context, and you saw a lot of those white towels that were still on seats. But I'm looking at that first row. There were like 4 suites that were empty.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, that's – and, again, they're sold. So, but concession dollars that weren't made last night. And, again – Texans fans took over. They were loud at the end of the game. I mean, it's Monday night. It's late. I'm beating traffic out of there. I mean, last night looked like one of those games where you can get out of there in a hurry because people were leaving, I don't know, starting at halftime. Unless you were the Texans fans, because last night was your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they acted like it as they should. Little brother beat the hell out of big brother last night.
They did. And they deserve it, and Texan fans ought to gloat. That's why I think some of them are a little upset with me on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
For saying that Dak would have beaten the Texans. And we'll never know, obviously, but I think a couple of those throws, if they would have been better, it certainly would have been a more competitive game, that's for sure. But, yeah, there was a lot of red in that building last night. And, look, props to the Texans. And, again, I think that one of the biggest moves that they made, and I think it, obviously, is signing Joe Mixon. That guy just makes that offense and C.J. Stroud's job a little bit better. Although C.J. didn't play well last night. I don't care. He did not play well last night. He didn't throw the ball well. He didn't play well. And even Aikman and Buck were commenting on it from time to time. He just looked a little bit off last night. So hopefully he plays a little bit better moving forward. But last night was not one of his best.
And you mentioned Mixon. He told Scott Van Pelt last night, I guess it was Mixon, who called that players-only meeting.
It was a tough loss that we took last week. I mean, basically, we pretty much took all the coaches out of the locker room and I huddled them boys up, and I think that we responded in a hell of a way after that conversation. Mm-hmm. The way we attacked practice, the way we attacked meetings, everybody on time, everybody doing all the little things right. And, everything translated to the field, and that's what D'Amico was talking about, and he was able to showcase that tonight.
I'm a big believer that what takes place in a room like that probably ought to stay in the room. So I'm not asking you to tell me what you say, but at the same time, I'm kind of asking, do you feel like, do you see things slipping? This is the first time you've been with a group. Do you sense that maybe guys get lazy in areas where they'd been buttoned up? Is that a fair way to characterize it?
You know what, Will? Like I said, it was a tough way we took that loss, man. And obviously, for the most part, we figured out that, whatever happens, it's on us to fix it.
Interesting.
Coaches, they do all the things to prepare us, which they think they do a hell of a job. Uh-huh. And it's up to the players to go out there and execute. And I thought that this week we responded in a hell of a way. I mean, like you said, I was a hell of a Detroit team. But, when it come down to it, if that was their best shot and we ain't finished early and we only lost by 3, hopefully we can make a run and meet them up again.
And a guy like that who's not only a good running back, but he's a leader. and I think this team needed that. And boy, what a great signing for Houston.
It really was, because, I mean, you think about that, then you think about CeeDee Lamb, and again, coming off a loss, what you get in the locker room is what you get in the locker room. But, I mean, you got to blame the offense at this point, and for CeeDee Lamb, he says he takes that personal.
It's not so much dwelling. I look at this as an opportunity of growth, because I know it's going to be, I mean, like my rookie season, bro. We went 6-10. And I know every year after that, it was pressure for everybody. So with that, I know that the world doesn't end this year. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it didn't happen the way that we wanted to. But for us to come out here, and we got to learn from these things. We got to learn that obviously not scoring touchdowns in the red zone is going to kill us. We're going to lose games. Turning over the ball does not go with not getting first downs, moving the ball. So you can't really take all these steps back and expect to win. For us, as an offense, I mean, I feel like the defense at the first half, they played lights out. And quite honestly, I take it real personal for us to be the reason that we really losing in these blowout games, because if you look at it, granted, they giving up a lot of points, but, bro, we were scoring 9 points a game. And everybody should take accountability in that, myself included, because obviously I'm obviously the one here. And I wear that on my sleeve, and I know I got to get in the end zone. So for me, it's getting better at what I do in my craft and getting in the end zone for us.
I thought he played well. He did. He played well, CeeDee Lamb did. And I think he's going to have to step up his game to have any kind of success on that offense. I mean, he's going to have to. So CeeDee's the guy. I mean, he's all the Cowboys have offensively right now. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, those tight ends came up big last night, but when push comes to shove, CeeDee Lamb's your guy, and you got to get him involved. And they did that. It was 2 or 3 jet sweeps last night. Which were successful, a couple of them anyway. So
get your best player the football. That's what you have to do. And eventually, I mean, the idea that this Cowboys team hasn't won at home in the calendar year 2024, they're getting blown out left and right. And we hear from Mike McCarthy about how hard they're working. And we hear from Mike McCarthy about how good practices have been. And then I hear this from Mike McCarthy.
This is it, man. We got 7 losses. We got to go backs against the wall. We got to fight, scratch, claw. We got to do everything we can to go win the next game. That's where my mind's at. That's what I want to coach, and that's the expectation. Yeah, we got to win. We deserve the win.
What?
We deserve the opportunity to win, and that's by putting the best people out there. So, and right now they're young. So. Those guys, our young guys are getting a lot of experience, but we need to do whatever the hell we need to do to win.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is that, Mike?
You deserve the win? Is that a memo to the NFL script writers?
They don't deserve anything, and no football team does.
No, you play to win, right? And you've got to win. What does it mean we deserve the opportunity to win? You have that every game. Every time you line up, you have an opportunity to win, and you're out on the field. You've already gotten that.
Yeah, it's nothing, right?
Yeah.
When you start the game?
Yeah. What the hell does that mean? We deserve the opportunity. You want to win? Boy, it would be nice to get a win, just to know that feeling one more time. You deserve to win. What the hell does that mean? But then he's going to tell us about the morale of the team is still really high, even though, I don't know, they keep getting blown out at home.
Well, I mean, hell, they better be frustrated. I mean, we're all frustrated. I think it'd be something wrong if they weren't frustrated. So just very honest with everything and stay in tune with what's right in front of us. I mean, that's the only way I've ever done it. And we got a tough road game, got a division game coming up. It's disappointing. I thought they definitely put the prep in this week. We had some guys that didn't make it, and so we had some different practice patterns that we went through. But for the most part, I thought these guys were ready to go and came out. They came out ready in the first half.
Look, I don't think the team – I mean, I thought the effort was there on both sides of the ball. I don't think that's the issue. The problem is you just don't have the horses. You just don't have the talent that everybody else has. And then you're going to go up to Washington and play the Commanders, another team that wants to embarrass the hell out of you, who is playing pretty good football, although they've lost 2 in a row. But still, they've got a much better team than the Cowboys do when it comes to talent. They just do. And Dan Quinn's going to try and just stick it up the Cowboys' behind.
What?
Yeah.
We deserve the win.
I mean, he is. He wants to embarrass Jerry and company.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Yeah. Yes, he does. He wants to do what? Well, and again, I do think that all these teams want to embarrass the Dallas Cowboys.
They do.
And the Cowboys, they're not good enough right now to play 4 quarters of football. I thought they played well for about 3 quarters last night before the wheels completely came off. It was a 10-point game. It was 20-10. And granted, they ran a stupid fake punt, and I still don't understand that.
That was horrible.
They missed a field goal. Brandon Aubrey missed a field goal, even though Joe Buck won't take responsibility for it. Blame Joe Buck.
Or Troy Aikman, because they were both talking about it.
Well, and apparently even on the Manning cast, like everybody, like Brandon Aubrey never misses, and he slips. Maybe it's because the doors were open, or the roof had been opened even though it closed. I mean, did you see ESPN fumble? Joe Buck fumbled right out of the gate. I guess reading a script that he wrote this morning, and the roof is open, and they're showing a shot. It's closed. Well, it was going to be open. Like, you didn't adjust your script, Joe.
Well, somebody got fired for that. Somebody's got to take care of Joe Buck. Come on, somebody writes that script for him, right? Come on.
Joe, no, he probably worked on that open all day.
He probably.
Yeah. Like, the roof is open. We'll have this shot. The director, I don't know how detailed they get in their production meetings, but feels like, yeah, the roof is open, and the shot, no, it's not. Fumble! Let's open the roof, and the sky is falling. A week after Jerry said, what do you want me to tear this thing down?
Yeah.
That's just going to fall all on its own.
Well, I hear Jerry blamed the wind for the sheet metal falling.
It wasn't that windy.
He did. I know, but it was the wind.
Well, did you hear that other piece that was up there? They just bolted it in place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't going to fall on anybody. That's a good thing.
Well, if the wind was that strong, was that little bolt going to work? Obviously, it did. It was fine.
Yes.
It was fine.
Yes.
Just an embarrassing situation there for the Dallas Cowboys.
This hasn't been a good year for Jerry and company.
I mean, all of it. I mean, they were making fun of last night, and we'll get into it, about the curtains in the building. And then, they open up the roof finally, and sheet metal falls. So they've got to close the roof. And I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's the 2024 Dallas Cowboys. The roof, the fumble. I mean, you fumble twice on one possession, right?
Tyler Guyton just fall on the football, dude. All right, you're not a running back.
No, but, man, I appreciate the effort. I do. But be football smart. Be football smart. It is the 2024 Dallas Cowboys.
Was that Petrie that hit him?
Yes.
That dude is a baller.
He is.
I love that guy. He's my new favorite Texan player.
Well, he's the only one you can name.
Well, no, I can name several, but that guy, I just like the way he plays.
He's a solid player. I believe, hold on, don't you have a Petrie jersey or hoodie, T-shirt, pledgerware?
I have both a regular Petrie hoodie and a sleeveless Petrie jersey hoodie.
That guy's old school defensive back. And the play he made that he got a flag thrown was ridiculous, but it was perfect. And Schoonmaker, I'm going to give him credit for hanging on to the football.
Yeah.
I mean, he got nailed.
Well, I fully expected you, Joe Reinagel, to say that Petrie caused him to catch the football. He hit him so hard he couldn't afford not to drop it. He impaled the ball right into a Schoonmaker.
Well, I was quite surprised that he held on to the football, to be honest with you.
Well, if he wouldn't hit that hard, he might not have. I don't know.
Maybe
I
not.
don't know.
I hope they don't have to rely on Schoonmaker the rest of the year.
All we know is literally the sky is falling in Dallas.
Apparently it is. And Jacob Eric on our YouTube channel says they ought to call Stevens Roofing to get that thing fixed. And maybe they should, because Stevens Roofing does commercial projects, Jerry. give Stevens Roofing a call. They'll make sure that roof opens and that there's no debris up there to fall on anybody. Look, I love Stevens Roofing, and they could handle that job. I guarantee it, because they can handle just about anything. Family-owned company, local company, and your roof, Jerry, as you know, covers everything that you love, including the Dallas Cowboys and, of course, your family. So you need a reliable roofer you can trust. Commercial, residential, you want a metal roof on your house, they can do that as well. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free when you give them a call at 210-785-0994. And look, if you're like me and pretty much everybody else on the planet, you want to save some money these days and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing has you covered there as well. And look, solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. Often they'll increase the value of your home, and there are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions that are tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered, so give them a call, 210-785-0994.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The boys are on the East Coast for their first of 2 arch rival meetups this season with the Washington Commanders.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Nigel, why is there a giant turkey standing on my desk?
That's Harold.
Well, then whisper these words, Nigel. Deep fried. From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we hope your Thanksgiving is filled with food, family, and fellowship. We couldn't ask for a better community to be a part of. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E and 16004.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs in action tonight. They'll play inside the Frostbank Center against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Nationally televised on TNT, 8:30 tip-off, but Wemby will not play. He is officially out with a right knee contusion. Well, Jerry Jones said on his radio show today that head coach Mike McCarthy, well, he believes the narrative that he's lost control is overblown. Does that mean he stays around? Stay tuned.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on at 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Tuesday.
For Texans fans, it is.
It is a happy Tuesday, and it can't even be that sad for Cowboy fans, can it?
It's just a day that ends in Y.
You expected a loss. It was a matter of how it was going to turn out.
I expected yesterday to be 31-13.
Yeah, and you were close.
34-10. Had they kicked the field goal on 4th down instead of going for it, 13 would have been there. Had they not taken a field goal off the board, although they took it off the board and then they failed to kick it again. Had Brandon Aubrey not missed, I'd have been close. I was close last night.
Yeah, very close. Very close.
That game was. It didn't fall the way I totally expected it to fall. I expected the Houston Texans to dominate a little more early because, quite frankly, they haven't scored in the second half in a long time, and they didn't in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, they got the defensive touchdown and that late touchdown. And you could just tell the way Mixon reacted. Scoring 3 minutes late, it's not like it was a tight game and that was the difference in the game, but the monkey off the second half back reaction from Mixon, I felt like you could tell that was an offense playing with a lot of pressure to do something and score in the second half.
Yeah, what was it, like 5 games in a row that they hadn't scored a touchdown in the second half? It was something like that. And then obviously it showed on the scoreboard. The Texans came into that game last night, losers of 3 of their last 4 ball games. So, they wanted to get that score and get some momentum going. And look, they finish with a very difficult schedule. I think they've got brutal. Tennessee coming up, and then you've got Jacksonville, who's And then after that, though,
brutal.
It's brutal.
Brutal stretch with Kansas City and Baltimore in like 4 days apart.
Yes, absolutely. So.
Yep.
Going to be tough for the Texans. They got to get things right with that offensive line. Although it wasn't horrible last night. It wasn't great either.
And the Cowboys do a pretty good job of sacking the quarterback. So that was a bright spot for the Texans. We'll talk about it more coming up with the great Indy Kalu. He will join us at 3:30. Mike McCarthy's Tuesday press conference around 4, give or take. When he's live, we'll bring you the inspiring words of Mike McCarthy after they've digested the film.
Yes.
Right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Now, Thursday, Joe and I, the Blitz, we're going to be live out at the Hangar Bar on Petranco Road. Thursday night football, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. We'll be out there with our friends from Flight by Yingling. your chances to win a lot of great prizes from our friends from Flight by Yingling, including the grand prize, which are passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party and tickets to Dallas-Cincinnati that Monday night in Arlington, December 9th. I'm guessing the roof will be closed for that game and the doors. Now, you know, at first, it's all brought to you by Fly by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Typically speaking, especially this time of year, when you've got a 3-win team in a Monday night game, that's flexible, right? This one is not. So, you know, you come out to the Hangar Bar with us and Flight by Yingling on Thursday, and you win those tickets, you're going to know that game will still be on Monday, December 9th. So you can plan accordingly because the NFL, it's not that they won't ever flex the Dallas Cowboys, because they won't, but they can't contractually flex this one.
Well, the problem is, and we talked about this, I think it was last week, when the Simpsons are going to be a part of this somehow, some way. Well, they've already done all the voiceovers, right, for Homer and company.
Yeah.
Talking about the Cowboys in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they can't change it.
No.
So that's why it will not be flexed at all.
So it will be a Monday night game. And the date will not change. The Cowboys will not get flexed out of that one. Granted, it's still America's team, although I'm curious to see what the number was last night. But again, we talked about it yesterday on the show. It will be interesting to see how Troy is watching the Cowboys play crap football.
Yeah, he probably wishes it would be flexed.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to get on a plane for that one.
That's a good point.
But even last night during the Monday night game, they took shots at Jerry and the curtains.
There's been no place like home for the Cowboys over the previous 2 seasons. 16-1 record, outscoring their opponents by almost 16 points per game, both best in the NFL. But the curtains have slammed shut this season. Cheap shot alert. 0-4 at home, outscored by an NFL worst 24 points per game here at home. It is beautiful. This is their 16th year with AT&T Stadium as their home stadium, but so far it has been no good.
No good.
Little curtain reference there, huh?
Well, and it was Micah Parsons that was, sitting down with the shades on the couch and the sun is his eyes. I thought they should have gone CeeDee Lamb there.
They should have done that. That would have been better off.
And James, I think you missed it. In the background, the music playing, the weekends, blinded by the lights.
Oh yeah, no, it was solid production all the way around.
Oh, it was
solid. No, that was solid production. I mean, if you go back and you watch the video of that, it was Micah Parsons, or number 11, coming in to sit on the couch. They should have had CeeDee Lamb, who had just bitched about the light, the sun.
Well, good for Joe Buck. I hope somebody got a giggle out of that. I rolled my eyes when I heard it live.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
They took shots.
Come on.
I mean,
Troy Aikman wouldn't be complaining about that.
I really hope somebody can do this for something. Maybe we should talk to our promotions department. What are those deals that you can fill up and put somebody's face on it and punch them? You know, they've got the sand or something in the bottom, and you punch them and you knock it down and then it pops right back up. I mean, everybody is taking punches at Jerry Jones right now, and they should, for everything. Roof falling, crappy team, GM Jerry, what's he going to do? It's all there. Everybody's taking shots at Jerry Jones, including Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football.
That wasn't Troy Aikman. It was Joe Buck.
He was there.
Joe Buck.
He's part of the production.
I'm sure Troy said, I got nothing to do with this.
I don't think he did. I mean, you heard the broadcast last night. He didn't pull punches either. You heard what he said about Mozzie Smith.
He did. Well, he was absolutely right about that. The curtains, though, it's like Joe wanted to be a comedian in his second career or what?
Joe didn't want to be. He didn't. They produced that, and there it is. He read the script.
He even had to explain it. Oh, veiled shot at the windows or whatever the hell he said after that. Come on. If you got to explain your joke, it's not a joke. I know from experience, dude.
You spend half your life explaining your joke.
Exactly. That's what I just said.
I thought it was funny.
Of course you did. You're a Texan fan.
Yeah.
Again, it's a punch at Jerry Jones. And Jerry should make those, because Jerry loves to print money, make those, sell them in the fan shop, and people would buy them. I would buy them. I would buy
a punching bag.
Well, yeah. I mean, don't you wish while you're watching that game last night you would have the Jerry punching? What do you call those things?
Remember the clown with the stuff in the bottom where you punch it and it comes right back
That's
up?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But put Jerry's face on it. Put Jerry's face on it. And so, we could do some sort of radio promotion with that. We could, when you're sitting, and again, Jerry could sell them at your tailgate party. You're having friends over. You're watching the game. Cowboys do something stupid like Tyler Guyton trying to run with the football and fumbles it into scoop and score. It's on television right now, the highlights of it. You need to punch something? Punch that, right? Punch Jerry.
Yeah,
I'm on to something.
There's a tremendous punch in the gut.
Punch Jerry in the face.
I'm okay with it. It's funny to me that some of these highlights that you do see when the Cowboys are bad, they're really bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean that 45. But here. Okay, can I just get this off my chest really quick? Joe Mixon, second play from scrimmage, runs 45 yards for a touchdown. And the next time they get the ball, the genius that is the offensive coordinator in Houston throws the football 3 times in a row, and they have to punt.
Uh-huh.
What the hell?
You are only upset because at the time you're worried about your fantasy team.
No, I'm like, I'm no genius, but I guarantee you if I have Joe Mixon in my backfield and Mozzie Smith trying to defend him, I'm running the football.
And Mozzie Smith apparently wore roller skates to the game last night. I heard that like 3 times.
Well, he looked like he kept them on,
from Troy
on the field.
Aikman. Yes, no, he was wearing roller. They were just sliding him away. It's a big human being to just move that easily.
Jeez.
He's big, but apparently not strong. Because that guy was getting moved way too easily. I know you're not a fan. And when I say you, everybody listening. Because none of us are a fan of football season weddings. Right? I know somebody in this room, Joe, has one in his family getting planned right now for football season.
Yeah.
And he's excited about it.
I am.
I recently went to a football season wedding. I've got a daughter who loves Halloween and apparently a dream of a Halloween wedding. And I'm like, kid, that's football season. If I'm paying for it, we'll do Halloween in, I don't know, June. Although there was a lady, a bride, who's going viral right now because she got married on Saturday. She's a big Oregon Duck fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon was playing Wisconsin. So they had quite the compromise. They projected the television, the game, on her wedding dress.
It was genius. Have you seen this video?
Oh, the video's incredible.
The video's incredible. Right on her dress, they have the game going on right there. So while she's standing up there doing her vows and whatever else.
Now, technically, it wasn't during the vows. It was at the reception.
Well,
during the wedding, actually.
Well, you don't need it during the reception. Well, unless there's no TVs in there.
See, that was the problem the other day, like at Kerbo's wedding. There was, and can I still call her Kerbo even though she's got a new last name?
Well, of course you can.
Well, I can't call her Nowinski. I mean, that just sounds bad, and she's got no wins in her name now. But you look at it, there was no televisions in that place. Everybody was on their phones. But she projected, or had the game projected on her wedding dress.
I think it's genius.
That was a pretty good compromise. That's a marriage that's going to make it, kids.
Yes, I love it. It's fantastic. I thought that was a great story and a great idea, and it just shows now, find a woman like that to marry, first of all. Second of all, when you're a fan like she is of the Ducks, you find a way. And she did.
I imagine when they planned that wedding, they didn't realize what the great Big Ten rivalry was going to be with Oregon and Wisconsin.
That was a hell of a game. Oregon escaped.
They did. They've escaped yet again. Although I am curious, if you're that diehard of a fan, do you adjust the time? Like, all right, we're planning on getting married at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever the time is. However, we will delay the start of the ceremony until halftime. So as soon as they go to halftime, we'll start with the bridesmaids coming down and the kids with the flowers and all that kind of stuff. We'll start the ceremony at halftime. The official wedding start time is TBA. Do you think they would do that?
I doubt it. I just, knowing the people that I know, they wouldn't do it.
So you don't have that option for your wedding coming up?
I don't have that option. No. No. And mine's in November next year.
November of next year.
Next year.
So like a year from right now.
Well, yeah. I don't remember the exact date.
You probably need to know that.
When it's time to go, I'll be told.
Uh-huh. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I don't remember the date. I want to say it's the 12th, but I don't remember the date exactly.
Is that like a Wednesday?
It's on a Saturday, whatever day that is. In November.
In November.
Yeah. Luckily, the playoffs start in December.
Yes.
So I'm okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You'll be fine.
Yes.
You'll have your phone.
I will.
And I would send that just as a suggestion, compromise. Hey, this is a good idea. Let's project the television on your wedding dress.
That is a great idea. I'm going to send that video to Courtney.
I think you should.
So I am. I'm going to.
I think you should.
If she'll do that.
I sent it to Bree and Erica.
Did you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to send
Erica
it to
was
her.
like, hey, that's a pretty good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim. It is.
It's called compromise, kids.
Compromise.
Yes.
And it looked good on the wedding dress. Made the dress look better.
It really did.
I thought so.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, bride wants all the attention. You want everybody looking at you.
Everybody
Put the game
would.
on.
Yes.
We'll watch you the entire time.
It'd be perfect.
Yes. Don't move.
Yes.
Quit moving.
Yes. And she had to hold that dress out to make the screen appear
Yes.
bigger. Yeah.
Yes.
So you got to do that too.
Yes.
And during commercials, she can, let go.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about that.
Well, that's it. That's what the bridesmaids are for. Yes.
Yes.
You're on to something.
I agree.
Let me know how that works.
I will.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I kind of already know.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Indy Kalu coming up talking Texans and Cowboys after the Houston Texans get their big win last night over the Cowboys in the Texas Super Bowl. I keep getting some messages from people saying, hey, I went to my H-E-B and I couldn't find my kielbasa bacon that I'm telling you is available at H-E-B. Available at most H-E-Bs. If it's not at your H-E-B, tell the store manager to get kielbasa bacon and then go to the next H-E-B. They're likely to have it. Kielbasa bacon is available at H-E-B. At Kielbasa, they did pause that great bacon production during the pandemic, mainly because they would not compromise on the quality that we all expect from Kielbasa smoked meats. Now they can say at Kielbasa, we've got bacon. Kielbasa thick-cut bacon is at most H-E-Bs. Packaging a little different than before, but that taste is the same. Kielbasa thick-cut bacon is naturally hickory smoked for that robust flavor in each bite. Made with premium pork, has 3 grams of protein per serving. In a world of over-processed foods, Kielbasa's dry-cured bacon is crafted with 4 simple ingredients, 5 if you get the peppered flavor. And unlike other bacons that are pumped full of water and phosphates, Kielbasa's dry-cured bacon is all meat, no cheat. Life is too short for watered-down bacon. Available in original and peppered flavors, Kielbasa bacon is available at select H-E-Bs. And again, if you don't see it at your H-E-B, I saw it at mine, go to the next one, but tell that store manager to get Kielbasa bacon in that H-E-B. And I can tell you it's the best bacon on the planet. It's worth that extra effort. Michael Kielbasa, he guarantees it, as written on every package. If it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, just call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. As they can now say again at Kielbasa, we've got bacon. So get into H-E-B today and get yourself that Kielbasa dry-cured thick-cut bacon.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game, and it better be yours. It probably is. There's already 10 million people playing it. You better jump in. We're mid-season now, and this is the time to play because we know what to expect. We're fantasy players. We know if Jaden Daniels is going to go get it. We know if Dak Prescott's got it in him. We know if Pat Mahomes doesn't. That's why Prize Picks is so much fun. Your skill, your knowledge put to use, and there's free money. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with injury insurance so that your lineups stay in play even if your players get injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. They put their members first, too. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today and use code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. And I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Think basketball, think football. You can mix, you can match across your other favorite sports and leagues and win money watching sports. And this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the win. And they're basically a sure thing with their free picks. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that stat pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the app, sign up with promo code STAR and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR. Must be 18 or over, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O-double-G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us, plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jank.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well-qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99 credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence available now.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
So we're not going to blame it on the sun, huh? It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can always comment there. We just got a tweet from old Ben saying he's watching from the home office today and has us up on the big screen. Always kind of cool when we see that.
Appreciate that, Ben.
And Ben says Cowboys currently own the 9th overall pick in the draft.
Wow.
They can do better, although Thanksgiving Day could go a long way in determining that. You can win tickets to that Thanksgiving Day game. All you got to do is sign up. and try to win those tickets at sasportstar.com. Sorry, I got a little distracted. They just did a breaking news. Coach fired, and I was, we know it won't be Mike May as a hockey coach. That looks like the Bruins fired their coach.
I cannot believe that Doug Peterson is still standing in Jacksonville. They have a bye week this week.
Yep.
And with the embarrassment from the Detroit Lions last week, I thought that he'd be gone.
Yeah.
So maybe the ownership there of the Jacksonville Jaguars doing the same thing Jerry Jones is doing. You just don't want to – you have to make him just sit through it the rest of the season.
I truly believe one of the reasons why Mike McCarthy will not get fired in the middle of the season, well, I think there's two reasons. One, I don't know that there's anybody on that staff right now that would be a quality interim head coach. Zimmer is not proven to be a quality defensive coordinator hire, so you're not going to promote him. And I don't know what Shoddy does anyway, but who else would you elevate to that position? And two, it's just punishment. I don't think Jerry Jones is going to reward Mike McCarthy by letting him off the next 2 months, get paid, and not have to sit through this. Why cut him that slack? You know, make him work. Make him
earn his money.
Well, do your press conferences. Do this, do that. But, yeah. And honestly, I believe Jerry when he says, I think Mike McCarthy is a good football coach. He is.
Well, he is.
He is. But I'm not going to reward you by letting you go relax and enjoy Thanksgiving at home if I've got to sit in that stadium and watch us get blown out again. Because the last 6 games in that stadium, including that playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys have led for a grand total of 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow.
And that was against Detroit. They have trailed by more than 20 points for over 109 minutes. They have trailed in all 6 games by more than 20 points, which is an NFL record. There's no way in hell Jerry is going to say, you know, Mike, you don't have to come watch this anymore. Just take the day off. If I got to sit there, so do you, dude. That's exactly what Jerry Jones is doing.
You know, the Cowboys, and when you listen to Mike McCarthy from last night or Jerry from today, 7 games left. What are the Cowboys, 3-7? They're thinking 10-7 to end the season. Running the table and making the playoffs. 10-7. You think they're really thinking that?
Well, they think they deserve a win.
Well, jeez.
You know, we deserve the win.
Yeah.
Look, I respect Mike McCarthy, but that's a pretty dumb comment. They don't deserve anything. Nobody deserves anything. So what are you saying? The Washington Commanders don't deserve to win next week? Or the Giants on Thanksgiving don't deserve to win?
If you're putting in the work, you feel like a win needs to come their way, but to say you deserve it, I don't know. I mean, as a frustrated Cowboy fan, although dealing in reality, I'm not letting it get me angry like it normally does. You go back, remember when Brad Shan kind of got on me because, you know, I said it was a weird vibe at training camp.
Yeah.
And I could see this coming. I think most of us could see this coming. And the realistic expectations of what this year was going to be. Now, granted, did I think it was going to be this bad? No. And I don't know that anybody did when they put together this roster the way they did. But they didn't put together a winning roster or even a Super Bowl caliber roster this offseason with their inactivity. I don't think anybody saw this bad.
Nobody saw this. How could you predict that?
But deserve? No. You don't go out and earn it. And you sure as hell don't deserve it when you put 12 men on the field this late in the season. And it wasn't one of those 12 men on the field where somebody's running off and Aaron Rodgers catches you. It was 12 dudes in the huddle thinking they were all involved in the play. You don't deserve to win when your best wide receiver has a false start with all the pre-snap penalties because those are all signs of, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Didn't he have 2 of those yesterday?
Yeah. You don't deserve to win when you run a stupid fake punt.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That really was. What was it, like 4th and
9.
15?
9.
It was 9?
9.
and he just kind of floated that ball up there. It took like 30 minutes to get to the receiver.
Wow.
So the rest of the Texans could converge.
That was a smart play by Houston. They baited him into it. They saw the look, the hot read, and boom.
I just think that
dumb in that situation.
Well, that's twice now, and it hasn't worked out very well either time. I think fake punts ought to be over for the Cowboys. That should be put in the closet, and don't do it again.
Mike McCarthy, king of cliches. And I heard Rob and AJ talking about this morning. In fact, he said it on Friday to Rob and AJ again. Mike McCarthy, every Friday, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Every possession needs to end with a kick. You had an opportunity to do that. Punt that ball away. At that point in the field,
was there still no score at that time?
Yeah.
Or it was 7-0? It was close.
7-0.
It was early in the game.
Houston scored right before the game started on. But I mean, because the Cowboys spot everybody. But again, you have an opportunity to end a drive with a kick, and you chose not to, right?
You ended it with a floater. A floater?
Yeah, that's never a good idea. You never want a floater.
I need a floater.
You took points off the board, still had an opportunity to get points, but you go for it on 4th and 2. So Mike McCarthy, who preaches, our goal is to end every drive with a kick. You purposefully, twice in the game last night, decided not to end a drive with a kick.
Yeah, you did. I didn't blame him for taking the 3 off, though.
No.
With the 60-some-odd yarder that he hit. I mean, I think that was the right call.
But later in that same drive, you still had time for points. Wasn't it the same drive where they go for it on 4th and 2?
Well, no, it's the same drive where Aubrey missed the kick.
No, he missed the kick in the first half. In the second half, he made the 65-yarder.
They took it off, and then they went down. They stopped him, and he missed the kick. Because they had the 3 points. That was the whole thing.
No, they went for it on 4th and 2. He only missed 1 kick last night.
Right.
And that was in the first half.
That was that same drive.
Doink.
Same drive.
I don't think so. We'll research it.
It was.
And talk about it with Indy Kalu coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need winter gear. You need your business or company group logo on a half zip, a hoodie, a coat, jacket. That winter gear is on display right now in the massive showroom there for Sammy's Embroidery Club. Don't wait till that first real cold front gets here to get in there. Plan ahead. You know it's going to get cold. It's already November 19th. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike, Cap America. Sam has all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour, Port Authority, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big, and all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday hump day on the Morning Huddle. We talked about the Spurs, their Emirates Cup matchup last night with the Thunder, and the latest from Jerry Jones. What did he have to say about the massacre on Monday? All that and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
When you've got a big job to do, never compromise. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota rental equipment. Excavators, skid loaders, track loaders, RTVs, or mowers. At Ewald Kubota, we have the machine you need when you need it. Rent by the day, week, or month. We know you want the dependable equipment Kubota is known for, and we can even deliver it to you. From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, for over 75 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we're dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Football season is in full swing. Take full advantage by winning some cash with Sleeper Picks. Sleeper Picks is a fantasy game, but you could win real money. Just pick more or less on at least 2 of your favorite player stats. If you're right, you could win. You could pick up to 8 players to win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Sleeper has a special offer. New users will have their first deposit match up to $1,500. So if you deposit $1,500, they'll give you an extra $1,500 in credit. If you already played, Sleeper's got discounted player projections every week of the season. Check in and see what they have this week. Download the Sleeper app now and use promo code BLOCK, and your first deposit will be matched 100% up to $1,500 in credit. What are you waiting for? Download Sleeper today and unlock one of the fastest growing fantasy sports apps in the world. Use code BLOCK for up to $1,500 credit match on your first deposit. That's code BLOCK. Must be at least 18 years old in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. See terms of use for details at sleeper.com. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
All right, before we go to Indy, and Indy can hear this too, I was wrong. You were right. We were talking about the missed field goal. I was incorrect. Jason was right. First time for everything.
Well, I did first time that you've actually admitted.
First time for everything.
But you do have it on tape, Pledge, of him actually saying that he is wrong. Not incorrect, but wrong.
On that one issue.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Only.
It's a drop forever. Indy Kalu joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Houston Texans legend, member of the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. Last night went according to plan. Houston Texans fans get to celebrate today. I'm curious, in Houston, was this like a hat and T-shirt kind of game?
Oh, absolutely not. It's just another day, another Cowboy loss to the Texans. Just like how they opened up their franchise. It's just what they do. They beat the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is calling people here in Houston asking for Gorilla Glue to fix his roof, and I'm like, man, you can't even get that right. So, no, this is just what happens when Houston faces Dallas in anything.
I know you're happy, Indy, and I hate to bring the room down, but I have to ask you a question. All I heard was this Bobby Slowick, people getting on him for this and that, and I'm going to join that crowd. I don't understand some of the plays that he calls sometimes, and I certainly didn't last night.
Look, I'm not here to defend him, and that's not bringing the room down. Here's what good teams do, and I'm glad you brought this up. Even after a victory, you still want to, figure out what you have to do so you can beat better teams, and you still want to improve. So definitely the offensive coordinator needs to improve. But, Joe, there were a couple plays where there was a third and it was like third and inches or third and long. Okay. You're right. No, you're right. It was third and inches, and he ended up throwing it. But what happened? It was a bad pass. So Nico Collins was open, and it was one of the few errant passes by C.J. Stroud. And I believe even Troy Aikman was like, what was the offensive coordinator thinking? And again, I don't know Bobby Slowick. He's not from San Antonio, so he's not one of my homeboys. But I was thinking, well, if CJ just throws the ball the way we know he can, that's a first down, and we're talking about what type of great play it was. So, yes, there's some things he can improve on, and I could even say the same thing about the defensive coordinator, but the execution has to be there.
Yeah.
It does. It does. And so do facts. They need to be there, Indy, Kalu. With the win last night over this pathetic Cowboys team, Dallas still leads the overall series with the Houston Texans 4-3.
Yeah, but like Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately?
There you go. Well played.
It's all about the last game. It's all about the last game.
Well played, my friend. Look, my score prediction yesterday was Houston was going to win 31-13. And I was close. I mean, my expectation was the Cowboys were going to get drilled in this game. But that was a 10-point game until the 2024 Dallas Cowboys circus showed up with them fumbling and losing a fumble twice on one play. Cooper Rush fumbles, Tyler Guyton fumbles, and you get the scoop and score by the defense. You get the late touchdown. But in reality, for 3 quarters, that's a 10-point game. Cowboys don't take a field goal off the board. It's a one-possession game. I don't know. I mean, I said earlier I thought the Cowboys played competitive in that game for 3 quarters, but is that more credit to the Dallas Cowboys or more concerning for the Houston Texans?
A little bit of both, and we have to remind ourselves, as much as we want to joke about Cooper Rush, as much as we want to joke about the Cowboys running back and how short Deuce Vaughn is, they're still pros. Like, they're still pros. They have a lot of pride. CeeDee Lamb is still one of the best wide receivers in the game, so you're not going to be surprised when he makes plays. But I'm with you, Jason, because when I was watching the game, up until the third quarter, I'm like, man, this game is – I always felt like the Texans were going to win because I just didn't think Cooper Rush had enough to beat a Texan team with the defense playing the way they were. But after 3 quarters, I was like, man, this just doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like a top-tier team, which is what the Houston Texans want to be. It just felt like a pretty good team beating up a bad team that's hurting right now.
Well, Indy, I will tell you this. I have become the president of the Jalen Petrie fan club. I love that guy, and I love the way he plays last night. That penalty was just BS on him. Should have never been called. But that dude just balls out. I'm a big fan of Petrie.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Petrie, and if you meet him and talk to him, you're even going to be a bigger fan. I mean, this is a guy that his rookie year, he's making NFL money, and he still chose to live with his parents who live in the area just to kind of keep his feet grounded for that year. I'll tell you what else I like about him. He had a very good, I don't want to overstate and say great, he had a very good rookie year. Then he had what people called a sophomore slump. people here in Houston, the Houston media, they were questioning him, wondering if he should even make the – like literally, they were wondering if he should even make the roster. And all D'Amico does is says, you know what, Jalen might not be the best cover corner, might not be the best cover safety, but he's a football player. So let's find a spot for him. Let's make sure he's inside the box. He's playing up against the line where we could use his physicality, and he's having another good season. So I like the fact that he didn't get down on himself. He went through the emotionals up and down where everybody's patting him on the back as a rookie, and then they're questioning him his second year, and now he's kind of emerging again as a good football player. And that penalty, if you really want to – first of all, I hate the way they call these penalties on defensive players. But now you're getting to the point where when the ref sees a hard hit, which is what we try to do every single game as a defensive player, they throw the flag. But then for those yahoos to sit around and talk about it and say, yep, we got it right, and they still penalize him, that really bothered. That damn near ruined the game for me. Because that was actually, Jason and Joe, that's exactly how the NFL wants the defensive players to make tackles and to hit. And he did exactly what they want with a little more oomph, and he got penalized for it. Like, they truly owe him an apology.
I agree.
They might owe him a little bit more as we visit with Indy Kalu here on the Blitz. We know even if a play doesn't get penalized in a game, a player can get fined. Should the NFL send him a check for the fine money that they were going to document, say, yeah, you know what, we really screwed that one up. Here's an extra $17,000 from the kitty.
That makes too much sense, but they should absolutely, and it's a shame because they don't have to. They're powerful. What are the players going to do? But I'm with you. They should say, hey, what's your favorite charity? Okay, Jason Minnick's Rainbow Coalition. All right, we're going to give $10,000 to your favorite charity.
Bite me.
I'm just making something up, but at the very minimum. At the very minimum.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
Oh, that was funny as hell.
At the very minimum, they should send him something saying, hey, the refs got this wrong. Continue to play the way you're playing.
Okay, on the other hand, when it comes to those Texans defensive backs, there could have been at least 2 pick sixes last night if those guys could catch.
Come on. And Stingley, they say that, and Stingley had a good game. He did have 1 pick. But there was another one that you're right. It should have been a pick 6. And they say he literally has the best hands on the team, including wide receivers.
Wow.
So there were 2 that I saw that I was like, man. And that's the difference between like a Buffalo Bills team or the Detroit Lions playing against a Dallas Cowboy team. Like, they make those plays, and it ends up being a blowout early on. So, yeah, that's the difference between good and great teams. You have to make those plays. I'm with you on that.
Indy Kalu joining us here on the Blitz, and I think we all agree Houston's a good team. They're not a great team. They're not a Super Bowl caliber team, at least not at this point. But last night was a get-right game, and I think in some areas the Texans got right. And that one area that I really was impressed with last night was the offensive line. I thought Micah Parsons, because it was very personal for him anyway, but I thought he might get to CJ a couple of times last night. And as a team, the Cowboys had 1 sack in the entire game. Whether it's all offensive line or credit Bobby Slowick for calling plays because CJ was getting rid of the ball in a hurry. But either way, they kept that guy upright last night, and that was, I thought, a massive improvement from what we've seen from Houston as of late.
No, I love what you called it, a get-right game. I mean, the Texans had lost 3 of the last 4 games, 2-game losing streak. Might have even been a 3-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. But for them to, win the game, it just feels good. Even if, you're playing a Dallas team that's hurt, doesn't have their starting quarterback. But like you mentioned, here in Houston, the offensive line, what's going on with the offensive line? Not only did they protect C.J. Stroud against one of the best edge players in the NFL, Micah Parsons, they also opened up holes for Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon was able to have a typical Joe Mixon day where he rushes for over 100 yards, multiple touchdowns. So it wasn't just pass protection, but with the run blocking, they got back to what we were used to seeing. So it was definitely a get-right game as far as getting the W, even though you can argue that the first 3 quarters, you're scratching your head wondering when we're going to see them kind of take off. but for that offensive line group. And they even got to a little scuffle, because they just felt like they were a little too nice. But when you see Shaq Mason getting into it and you see the scuffles, you're kind of like, yeah, I want my offensive line to be a little bit dirty.
I got to say, and you brought up Joe Mixon, and he was on with Scott Van Pelt last night talking about, I guess he led a team meeting after the last game, and it looks like it paid off. But to have a guy like that, ND, in your locker room, who's not only a hell of a player, but everybody looks up to, that's a huge benefit, and I think maybe the best signing for the Houston Texans that I've seen in a while.
Credit Nick Caserio, the general manager. I mean, the moves that he made this offseason, obviously you have the big name. I mean, Joe Mixon's a big name within the NFL, but Diggs, was the one everybody was gushing over. But then you quietly bring in Danielle Hunter, who's still a beast at the defensive end position. And Joe Mixon, not just for what he does as a running back, but a true leader, a true locker room guy, a guy that's leading meetings when things aren't going well, but he's also doing it on the field. When we signed Joe Mixon, people were like, oh, man, that's a pretty good signing. But I don't think anybody, except for maybe Nick Caserio, thought he was going to have the impact on this team that he's having. So there's a few names like that, Danico Autry, even bringing in Derek Barnett, the guy we saw with the strip sack, who had the touchdown last year late in the season. And he's been playing the way the Philadelphia Eagles expected him to play when things didn't work out there. You have to start to finally give Nick Caserio his credit for not just bringing in the big money stars, but the pieces that have allowed this team to go from a laughing stock to what Jason said, and I agree, good but not great yet. But I feel like they're trending in the right direction now.
Yeah, they certainly are. And again, they got the Texas Super Bowl. I know it's still a one-sided rivalry, but anytime little brother can beat big brother, that is a big win. And every Texan fan, I mean, you'd be proud, ND. Pledge is wearing Texans gear today. Our engineer, Grumpy, asked Greg Shelton. Went and got my car washed. Saw two people there wearing Texans gear. At Whataburger, somebody was wearing Texans gear today. I've seen more Texans gear today, 5 items, than I have all season long.
Well, you got to start somewhere. You start with 5, and you know what? This time next year it might be 500. And as the Texans keep winning and keep putting on free football camps like we're going to have this summer, then there's going to be more and more San Antonio fans rooting for the right Texas team.
Do me a favor, Indy, as you get ready for your next football camp. You being a defensive end, invite from Steele High School. We've nicknamed him now Turnstile Terrence Steele. I think he'd be really good at your camp to really show those pass rushers how to get around a kid. But, yeah, get Terrence Steele out there as well.
Terrence Steele, so where is he at now?
He's with the Cowboys. He was the guy that Hunter was feasting on all night long.
Danielle Hunter knows his name very well. Yes.
Yeah. No, I do. Okay, yeah.
How bad is that, man? All the San Antonio NFL guys know each other, and you didn't know Terrence Steele is from Steele High School?
No, so when you said Steele High School, for some reason my mind just went to a high school player. But no, I did not know that. But you're right. We do try to keep up with all the Saytown players. So shame on me for not catching that.
Well, he is a little younger than you, indeed, to be honest.
As president of the San Antonio chapter of the NFLPA, you've got homework to do. ND, always great catching up, my friend.
That was fun. Look forward to speaking with y'all next week.
Appreciate it. ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. As we go from ND talking about the win, Mike McCarthy in his afternoon press conference will bring it to you live right now here on your South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Get some guys back this week, so that's where we're hoping it balances out.
And I know you always use the determining factor, just physically, if a guy can play, he plays. But when a guy is clearly compromised and you have 2 games in 4 days like you do coming up, does that factor into the decision?
I would say it's definitely part of the equation, without a doubt. It's if they're not fully capable of playing this week, then obviously next week is, really I think the question we'll be talking about here when we get to Sunday is more, potentially the guys that are coming back, maybe how much they will play. Because, you just can't bring guys back and expect them to play 50, 60 plays.
Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas. Can you just talk about the fight this team continues to show? I mean, even though the scores seem to be lopsided, Jerry talked last night about you haven't lost a team, and I know there were some skirmishes on the field last night. Is that an example of this team still has the passion to play the game?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you got to remember now, this, just like any year, this journey starts back in April. So, and these guys have done a lot together. We've done a lot together. We've put a lot into us, and we are frustrated, disappointed where we are. But this locker room has a tremendous amount of fight. I can't tell you how much I do believe in them, and it is difficult, but we'll continue to fight.
Mike, Todd Archer with ESPN. You told us a couple weeks ago that you expected a transition defensively. I can't imagine you thought it would take this long for things to get up to speed. Does that kind of surprise you that the transition has taken this kind of long?
I think there's a lot more to it than just a transition. We have a lot of moving parts on defense. I think the injuries were probably, the biggest setback, coming out of training camp early in the season. So, we do have new guys playing, certain positions, just evident this past game too. So, and we've had to play certain defenses more this year than we ever had, just because of the way the lineups have laid out.
And then offensively, when that's not gone the way you had hoped that it would go either, do you ever consider giving Schottenheimer a chance to call some of the plays at times, or rearrange how you guys look at your process?
Haven't considered. Don't think like that.
No, I'm not leaving up my play calling. Mike McCarthy live with his press conference here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
The roof's going to be open, and then it's not. When finding that all out, and did that have any impact on anything that you did yesterday?
No. I mean, if the roof's open, you go out and you measure the wind. I know there was a potential wind, so we were prepared to assess the environment, but yeah, we had plenty of time. We're there early, so we had plenty of time to adjust.
And then on the Turpin play, I think it's easy for us on the outside to say, well, how come there aren't more plays like that? Why do you think that maybe Cavante hasn't been as involved in the offense?
I won't say he's been involved. I think Devontae's had a lot of opportunities as far as play time, and I think he's done a really good job. I mean, if you look at the steps, the jump he's made from last year to this year. I mean, he's able to play all the positions on offense. So I actually feel very good about what he's given us at the receiver position.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. When you're going through times like this, how do you try not to change too much or tinker a little bit, or just stay the course and because you believe in your process?
Well, I mean, we're going to stay the course. I'm just really like any year, any week, really the injury reports really drives a lot of our decision, drives a lot of what we can do, what we cannot do. So, and that's kind of what we're working through right now as a staff, trying to get ready for Washington.
Run game, we talked about how it soft, and it looked like he was moving forward. How frustrating was it just to see?
Yeah, we took a step backwards, clearly yesterday. So I was disappointed in just the way that laid out. So we need to do a much better job this week.
Saudis of The Athletic. Mike, what were your initial impressions about Dan Quinn when you hired him, just on your staff, and then, how did that relationship grow in the ensuing 3 years?
Yeah, just knowing Dan from across the way, always had a ton of respect for him. It was awesome to have him here in Dallas. He's become a very good friend, and I'm really happy for the success he's having.
What ways did you see him relate to players? It seems like the players also have a great deal of respect for him.
Yeah, definitely. Dan does a great job connecting with people. Has great personality. So, yeah, he did a great job for us and is doing a great job now.
Nick Harris for Star Telegram. Getting guys like Josh Butler and Ryan Flanoy starts and ample experience yesterday. Is there an intention moving forward to give more youth opportunities like that?
I mean, we've been playing with youth all year, so we're going to do it. Yes, I mean, so if it lays up this way, they'll have a chance. Hopefully we get Brandon Cooks back this week, so we'll see how that shakes out.
We've been playing 3 games in 10 days. Does your staff meet just to kind of talk about workload for the guys over the course of the next couple of weeks?
Workload for the players?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a plan. We've been through this before, so we actually had to work ahead for Washington last week, being on a Monday night schedule. So we're into Washington today, and we get the end of the week, then we'll have to work ahead on the Giants. So we have a good plan.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, given your familiarity with Dan Quinn, how similar is his defense in Washington to what he ran with you?
It's very similar. I think Joe Witt's done a tremendous job. I mean, he's taken pretty much the system there, and then he's gone in a direction that he believes in. He's been very aggressive with it, and I've been very impressed.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. It's been a tough year for the offensive line in a lot of different ways. With the latest on the injury front, how much more challenging will that be over these next couple of games at least?
I mean, that's part of it. Obviously, Zach is a key. He's a keystone for our offensive line. So, that will be a big one. But, it's just more opportunity for these young players that really have been playing a lot and have been getting a lot of work. So, one of the benefits of our young players is, Zach doesn't practice on Wednesday, so they've been getting those reps. So, yeah, we just gotta get them lined up and put them in position to be successful.
Jasmine, Dallas Cowboys media. With the absence of Dak Prescott and DeMarcus Lawrence, who have you seen step up into a position of leadership, and how effective would you say they've been from a cultural perspective?
I think the biggest thing what you're looking for in guys now is more leadership through action and productivity, and that always happens particularly with young guys. But we have a segment in our team meetings the day before the game where the team captains have an opportunity to speak. So that's been interesting to see some of the younger guys, and I'll just go off of this week. Cooper Beebe was the offensive captain, so it's good to see these guys let their personalities out and take advantage of those opportunities.
Mike McCarthy's at press conference the day after the game. They get embarrassed by the Texans, and this is comical. We'll explain what Mike is fighting through during this press conference coming up here on The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. If you're feeling a loss of energy and drive, could be caused by low T. Maybe you're just struggling with weight, loss of muscle tone. You want to lose some weight, get some of that muscle tone back. All in all, get back to your best self. Easy to do when you go to Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, where you can get a personalized TRT plan that's more advanced than your basic standard therapy that you get with other providers. At Synergenics, you'll get a personally optimized TRT treatment plan from providers who specialize in testosterone therapy. You can also be evaluated for treatment with GLP-1 weight loss medication. Best thing to do, make that initial appointment and get your levels checked at. Book that appointment at synergenicshealth.com, synergenicshealth.com. The professionals at Synergenics are known for TRT treatment. They're also experts with GLP-1 weight loss, so you can be evaluated for prescription weight loss medication. Don't put it off. Book that appointment now. Synergenicshealth.com. SYNERGENX health.com for Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss.
Taking you home with The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at SASportsStar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The boys are on the East Coast for their first of 2 arch-rival meetups this season with the Washington Commanders.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Manny Jr. here with Rock's Discount Vitamins. This holiday season, don't let those extra pounds sneak up on you. We have the largest selection of weight control products to help you stay on track. Boost your metabolism with our non-stimulant fat burners, or try Cuts, which helps your carbs work for you, not against you. With 12 locations across San Antonio, Rock's Discount Vitamins has everything you need to keep your diet in check this holiday season. Find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money. Unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free fries from McDonald's, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details. This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Thanksgiving season is the best. That's right, Mr. Turkey. Everyone loves this time of year. Just like Connecticut water softener customers love their Connecticut. Definitely. A Connecticut water softener is the best in the business. Yes, it does keep your feathers soft. Yes, your waddle smooth. And your wings, nah, those things are pretty useless. A Connecticut is a much different water softener compared to the other brands. There's no computer, nothing to plug in, and it runs on kinetic energy. You said it.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. 0% interest for 12 months and $400 when you trade in your old water softener.
Mr. Turkey, you're pretty calm considering, you know. Well, on Thanksgiving, we eat turkey.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
No Victor Wembanyama for the San Antonio Spurs tonight when they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder inside the Frost Bank Center. That game is televised nationally on TNT. They'll tip at 8:30. How about Mike McCarthy's future in Dallas? Jerry Jones on his radio show today cited confidence in his head coach, and he believes the narrative that he's lost control is, quote, overblown. And Texas, they'll take on the Domers in 28 and 29.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Dry Cured Bacon. Kielbasa, we've got bacon. Available at H-E-B.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, carrying Mike McCarthy's press conference live, as we do every Tuesday or Monday, depending on when they do it. When it's live during our show, we try to bring it to you.
Yep.
The Cowboys, and he used the term at one point, not talking about this, but he said we took a step backwards. Now, you got to have a step forward to go backwards. The Cowboys can't get out of their own way this year with seemingly anything. You know, a couple of weeks ago, sun was in the eyes. Again, 16 years that building's been open, and every year it's a topic. Why didn't you put up curtains? So that was in a Sunday game in which CeeDee Lamb did bitch about the sun. So the next day at Mike McCarthy's press conference at the Star, which is a beautiful, beautiful building, a lot of glass, sun coming in, they put up a shade. Not in camera view, but those in the room obviously took a lot of pictures to keep the sun off of Mike McCarthy's face during the press conference. And they got a lot of heat for that. You'll do that for your coach, but you won't do that for your receivers. So today, during the press conference, they didn't put up the shade. And Mike McCarthy's battling the sun, moving around, squinting. The Cowboys can't do a damn thing right now.
But did you notice that Mike McCarthy was flawless?
Was he?
No complaints about the sun in his eyes. No complaints about anything.
He can't complain, but I wouldn't say he was flawless.
He was flawless today. I thought he answered every question perfectly.
Perfectly.
Sure.
Give up play calling. No, we don't think about that.
Well, of course not. Why would he do that?
No.
Mike McCarthy, why would he do that? That's just dumb. I mean, he's got, 7 games left as a head coach of the Cowboys.
Yes.
Well, I'm doing whatever I want to do at this point in time. Jerry's not going to fire me, so I'm going to do whatever I want. The bad news is he did say about Jake Ferguson, be hard-pressed to see him playing in Washington this week because he is suffering a concussion, although there could be some good news. Brandon Cooks and Marshawn Nealon could be available this Sunday.
Yeah, along with Chuma Edoga. And that's big because we saw a bunch of offensive linemen go down. I still just can't get the idea that, I mean, what do you think? Cowboys PR were like, all right, I did the sunshade last week. We can't do it again this week.
That sun deal is just so overblown.
Well,
it's unbelievable
it is,
to me.
But it's comical. But again, the consistency with this organization, they put it up because it looks better on television. Now, Jerry, I love the way it looks on TV. It's like an outdoor feel with indoor because, I pay that big-ass air conditioning bill. But for the press conference, to have the sun, and you guys will see this when you see the clips later, or if you go on YouTube and look, just, the sun, the way it was reflecting, he moves this way, it's in his eye, so he moves back. It's just comical that the Cowboys don't seem to be able to do a damn thing right now, and that includes a press conference with the sunshade. It's just comical. And they bring it on themselves.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure Mike McCarthy's just fine.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he's fine.
No problem. So we're going to make a big deal because the sun's in Mike McCarthy's eyes?
No, it's not a big deal. It's just comical. It's just comical. You worked in TV for a long time, and you know it's all about making sure you're getting the best shot. And sun reflection and glare is something that not you had to worry about, but Marcus did. But the consistency, they put it up once because they knew it was an issue. They took heat for it, so this time they didn't put it up.
So who'd they take heat from? Reporters?
Yeah, reporters, Twitter, social media.
So, that's dumb. If they're letting the reporters and social media dictate what they do, that's comical.
Again, why wouldn't they put it up today?
I have no idea.
Again, for a press conference, you would think you would have that, so you have that good, clean, consistent shot with the shading, right? It's just, photographers are always looking to make sure shadows aren't in the way and, move here. You don't have something growing out of the back of your head. You pay attention to backgrounds. It's just comical. I'm not bitching about it. I find it funny as hell that the Cowboys, from a consistency basis, you had that, then you had the sunshade. Now you don't have the sunshade, and if you look on social media, it's there. And I even tweeted, they didn't use the sunshade today. Clarence Hill tweeted, nope. And here you go again. It's just the 2024 Dallas Cowboys. They seemingly can't do anything right.
Well, maybe they should have held the press conference a little earlier or later than they did. I don't know. I guess it's just another narrative that we can talk about that means absolutely nothing.
It is. Again, it's just another one. Take a step back. or forward.
Was he talking about the entire team or just the running game? I thought that was a question about the running game that took a step backwards. Yeah. So and I guess it did. Although, Rico Dowdle gets 10 carries, and I guess they weren't happy with him because they benched the guy in favor of Deuce Vaughn for some reason. I guess Zeke got a few carries too, but
he had one
carry.
One
he
carry
caught a couple
for
of passes.
8 yards. Yeah, he did. How many did he actually catch? He got three targeted 3 times, 3 catches, 16 yards, long and 9. He was in the game. I guess I don't even know if Dalvin Cook was active, to be honest. Apparently
he probably was not, and he must suck. That he's gonna get.
He's getting 1,000 yards.
Deactivated for Deuce Vaughn. I thought it would talk about comical. Did you see Deuce Vaughn standing there amongst the other Giants?
Yes.
It was, and Joe Buck made it. He said, "Don't adjust your TV." I mean, it's just, that's comical. The fact that they're still holding on to this guy when it was a joke to begin with.
Yep. But you're going to complain about Bronny. Deuce is in the same boat.
Yeah, at least he travels.
He does.
When he's active.
I mean, he played.
He did.
He played.
I guess that's what that was.
I mean.
Every time he got the ball, I kid you not, I'm holding my breath, just hoping somebody just doesn't rip his head off.
Well, you got to find him first.
I guess.
I mean,
they found him.
I'm worried he might get a concussion running into somebody's kneecap.
I'm telling you, it's scary.
Yeah. Let's talk more about it coming up. Take your calls. Texans, Cowboys. Let's hear from you, Texans fans. It's your day. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. And look, we're a week away from Thanksgiving. If you've got a lot of family coming in and you're cooking a lot of people over, your toilet's getting flushed a lot more than it normally does, you want to make sure you got a good plumber handy, and they will be on call and ready to go on Thanksgiving. Quartermoon, 210-651-5899. They're full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Experts at worst case scenarios, especially if you got family over, Thanksgiving dinner, plumbing issues, that's worst case scenario. Call Quartermoon. They'll get you taken care of. They've got a great experienced staff that has earned an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Are you an oblivious person hogging the sidewalk like a large dying snail? Do people stuck behind you ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have tons of quality beds at every price. So anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup and delivery available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist?
You don't say.
Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Tuesday.
Especially for the Texans fans.
Texan fans are happy.
Of course they are, and they should be. They won their Super Bowl.
They did.
They won their. It was like a hat and T-shirt game. I don't know if they'll do rings.
Maybe they'll put a banner up.
A banner.
A banner. You know, kind of like the Lakers did.
In-season
tournament champs.
Well, it is the Governor's Cup. I believe they do get a trophy for that, right?
Do they get the Governor's Cup?
Yeah, they won the trophy.
All right.
Yes.
Well, good.
You
They'll
get
display that proudly.
T-shirt made. Got an idea.
Uh-oh.
I haven't run this by anybody. But since last night was a trophy game for the Texans, we've got some World Series replica rings from the Texas Rangers we'll give away. Pledge, I'm going to make your life miserable right now. We're going to do this on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube and you want a Texas Rangers replica ring, just on YouTube, say you want one. And the Pledge is going to take every name that shows up there on the YouTube channel, put them in a name generator, and we'll pick one, I don't know, in about an hour from right now. So you've got time to get to YouTube to get in there and try to win one of those rings on YouTube. So subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Go there, and all you got to do is say, I want one of those rings, and mark it, and because Pledge doesn't have extra innings tonight, so we got to get him hours, so we'll do it that way. We'll do it at 5:30. So you got an hour, Pledge. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Now, wait a minute, just so I'm clear.
Wow. Is that sign language, Pledge?
Everybody's coming up and they're saying, I want one.
Yeah, that's all they got to do.
Just, I want one.
I want one.
Not one, I want one of those rings.
No, just I want one.
All right.
I've tried to make it easy.
Well, I mean, I guess.
For Pledge.
For Pledge, Maybe it's for the people on YouTube you need to make it easy for.
I didn't want to say that out loud.
I don't say,
but
hey, I want one of them rings.
Don't want to overcomplicate things. But if you want a ring, a Texas Rangers replica World Series ring, see, like Eric, I'm going to tell you right now, you won't win because sign me up pledge is not what you have to say.
No.
It's following simple instructions. All you have to do is write, I want one on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, San Antonio Sports Star.
Wow, look at all those people that want one.
And pledge is going to take all of the, see, Paul Rodriguez, you're out of the running. I want one of those rings is not following instructions.
Well, I might have confused Paul.
That's why I'm clarifying and telling Paul that he's got to redo that.
I think it should be, I want one of them rings.
Yeah. I want one of them rings, R-A-N-G-S. That doesn't get you in. Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You make it way too easy on these guys.
I try.
Well, I don't know why.
Whoa.
Make them work for it. Yeah, some of these people might not know how to spell rings.
But they can spell I want one.
They can.
And that's
apparently
all they have to do.
All right.
Quit
all right.
trying to complicate things, Ryan Engel.
I'm trying because I want to.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Joshua, it's 425. I figured you'd be on the phone at 201.
Yeah, I kind of was holding back because it honestly, as for the Texans football team, it wasn't that great of a win. I mean, you beat a very, very bad Cowboys team, and it was a 10-point game through three quarters. I mean, the bum Bobby Slovic couldn't move the ball, so D'Amico Ryans had the birds up to him and said, hey, defense, go score a touchdown. So, it just wasn't a good game. But the thing I wanted to call about was I feel like this was a great game for Texans fans. This was the first time I think they've ever been in an opposing stadium and taken over. I don't think it's ever happened before. And, yes, I know AT&T Stadium is right by, but
Joshua, I'm going to stop you right there. And I wasn't in the building last night, but I think the last time they played in that stadium, they took that over. In fact, the Cowboys had to go to a silent count.
Okay, I mean that's good for them. I mean, but this is one of those. I feel like this might be better for the Cowboys as a fan. And hear me out on this, because this is where Texans, they boycotted for those couple years of I shall not say his name, but the Mr. Coley and Lovie Smith years. They kind of boycotted the team and stayed away, and it kind of hurt in the Texans pocketbook. And Cal McNair made it very fan interactive and fan driven. The changes that were made around that team. So, maybe the Cowboys fan, maybe Jerry Jones doesn't see green for a change, which I think he doesn't, because that's why he closed the roof. Because after that medal fell, he said, hey, I'm not paying out anyone else to not be good at football, because that could happen again. I already got Dak up in a suite not doing anything, CeeDee Lamb complaining and not catching passes. So, hey, he did good with that. So maybe he's going to change.
There's a lawsuit involved there, too, probably.
I mean, the roof and all that, I mean, that really could have been tragic in a lot of different ways. The reality is, Jerry didn't make as much money last night as he normally would. The tickets, though, that were sold, all those empty seats, they were sold. Those are people that chose not to go, or they couldn't sell them. All the Texans fans, what you guys really did taking over that stadium, I see Chris Phelan on our YouTube channel saying we had a blast and we took over big time last night, and you did. You were expected to. You bought those tickets from Cowboys season ticket holders who probably paid for their season tickets, because I talked to some that bought tickets for crazy money months ago, expecting the Cowboys to be good, and they're not now. But the reality is, Cowboy fans go to 2 or 3 games and they sell a couple of games, and it becomes a wash. You were in the building last night. You bought food. You bought drinks. Jerry made money. Where I was a little concerned is R.J. Ochoa tweeted out a photo that showed some of the suites. There were like 4 or 5 suites in that photo in the first quarter that was still dark. That's, I mean, again, they're already sold, but not getting the concession money from those, they didn't make as much on a Monday night as they project on a typical game day just from concessions.
You're probably right, but I don't think Jerry's going to be hurting.
No.
I think he's going to be just fine. Look, it's still fun to go to a game.
Yeah.
I know the Cowboys are not what they are supposed to be, but it's a blast to go to Jerry World or NRG or wherever. It's just fun to go to a game. So win, lose, or draw, it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, Houston Texans fans took over last night, and Cowboy fans left early, and it was a sea of red.
It was.
Inside Jerry World late in that game. So, props to them. But look, Joshua was right. We can sit here and, yes, they won, scoreboard, all that. The Texans didn't play all that great last night.
No, but again, I think for Texans fans on YouTube, Chris Phelan, and Chris, I'd like to, hear what it was like inside the building for you. Said we marched over to Texas Live last night chanting like it was a victory parade, and it was. For the Texans, for Texans fans, that was your Super Bowl. And you circled that game a long time ago. You wanted it. It is very much a one-sided rivalry. And
spoken like a true Cowboy fan over there.
It's little brother beating big brother. It's, and honestly, let's go back to Big 12 days. It's Texas Tech versus Texas. That is a one-sided rival. Texas has their main rivals. The Cowboys have theirs. In fact, it's this week with Washington. You got Philadelphia. You have Pittsburgh. You don't have that long history. It means more for Houston than it does for Dallas. In a lot of ways, it's UTSA playing Texas State. UTSA has everything to lose and nothing to gain in that game, and it's everything for Texas State. We saw that play out this year in San Marcos. We saw that play out last night at Jerry World. Your team won, though, and that's what matters. It was a get-right game. There were some positives for Houston in that game, but there's also still some of those warts that are still there that they haven't fixed.
No, there's no doubt. The positive is you've got a hell of a running game in Joe Mixon. That's the positive. I think the defense, though, missed a lot of opportunities, and I think had Cooper Rush thrown the football a little more accurately, that game would have been a lot closer than it turned out to be. There were some openings for the Cowboys to score some touchdowns and to put some points on the board, and flat-out Cooper Rush just missed. I can recall 3 or 4 times, as a matter of fact, where they had an opportunity to get a big play, and Cooper Rush was not accurate with the football. And so, look, Texan fan, be happy, and I want you to be happy. But if you're thinking that this is going to vault you into something, you still have a lot to fix and a very tough schedule to go.
You certainly do. Hey, we've got some tickets to give away to go see Rod Stewart, the One Last Time tour, March 7th at the Moody Center in Austin. You want them? Be caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9. You're going to go see Rod Stewart in March. If you don't win the tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com. You won't believe what Mike Elko said this week as the Aggies get ready to take on Auburn. We'll let you know. Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, because of course you do. You know the best way to do that. Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The Morning Huddle.
He's doing doing a duet with Carrie Underwood that's on the radio. And I'm like, how times have changed.
Well, I got Snoop Dogg selling me phones.
Right? It's crazy. Remember when Snoop was on trial for murder? And now he's like,
now he's selling me
you
phones
want to buy
with
this,
Pat Mahomes?
You want to buy this fire pit. It's like,
what? The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Skip the Black Friday madness this year with Diamonds Direct. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey guys, it's AJ from the Morning Huddle. Between us, when you hit a certain age, things start to feel a little off, right? You're tired all the time, your energy's low, maybe even your drive isn't what it used to be. And a lot of that comes down to testosterone, and trust me, it can happen to the best of us. That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They know how we feel, and they make it easy. Game Day Men's Health is over there on Bassey Road, across from the quarry. Their office has a relaxed man cave vibe, and they've built a 3-step process that's quick and designed just for us. First, get your T levels checked. Free testosterone test at their in-house lab. Then, you meet with a licensed provider to create a customized plan. And finally, you'll get those fast weekly treatments. After a month, you're going to notice a difference. More energy, better mood, and a kick in your libido. Don't settle. Be the best version of yourself. Call Game Day Men's Health, 210-900-3691. That's 210-900-3691. Feel better, be better at Game Day.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game, and it better be yours. It probably is. There's already 10 million people playing it. You better jump in. We're mid-season now, and this is the time to play because we know what to expect. We're fantasy players. We know if Jaden Daniels is going to go get it. We know if Dak Prescott's got it in him. We know if Pat Mahomes doesn't. That's why Prize Picks is so much fun. Your skill, your knowledge put to use, and there's free money. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with injury insurance so that your lineups stay in play even if your players get injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. They put their members first, too. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the app today and use code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ALAMO to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesome, TIX.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Auburn Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, I know what the Hanger Bar is.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come hang with us.
Thursday night football, it's Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Now, I mentioned we're there with our friends from Flight by Yingling. You know they always bring some great prizes. Plus, we are going to have your chance to win. Somebody's going to walk out of there at 6 o'clock with tickets to that Dallas-Cincinnati game, which is on Monday night, December 9th. But more importantly, Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party passes. And that Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party is freaking awesome. I've gone to it twice this year. Didn't know about it until, I don't know, this year. Thought it was the best kept secret, but like 1,000 people are at that. But it's all you can eat barbecue, all you can drink Flight by Yingling. It's incredible. You can win passes to that, tickets to the game. Yes, it is a Monday night game. No, it will not be flexed. That is a guarantee that game will not be flexed. I'm not saying that as an arrogant Cowboy fan. Oh, they would never flex the Dallas Cowboys, because this Cowboy team, not very good. It deserves to get flexed, but that's also one of those games that they're doing where the Simpsons are going to be part of the broadcast. They've already done the voiceovers. They can't change it, so it will not be flexed.
You can thank Homer Simpson for that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that loves Homer. Look, that might turn out to be, well, okay, but it can't be flexed.
It can't be flexed.
Can't be flexed. Cincinnati might score 100.
Well, but the Cowboys might too, because Cincinnati's defense is awful.
Again, Cincinnati might score 100.
Well, right now, the New Orleans Saints have scored more than anybody in that building this year. They've scored more touchdowns than anybody.
Wow, even more than Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And they're trying to, they've won their last 2 in a row since they fired their coach.
I might have to double check that, but I saw that on Twitter earlier from Clarence Hill.
Huh. Well, I trust Clarence. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Well, I know what Detroit scored, 49, 46, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, New Orleans might have just scored again against Dallas.
That was the first indication that this Cowboys team was not going to be very good. It was that New Orleans game. After they looked pretty good in Cleveland, and then they come home and, just kind of pooped the bed.
Uh-huh. So they lost 44-19 to New Orleans, and then 47-9 against Detroit. So Bates must have had some field goals in that game.
Yeah, must have. So he's saying that the Saints scored more touchdowns.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take his word for it.
I don't want to look it up.
It's been bad at home, though. I mean, my goodness, it's been bad. Philly, 34-6, 34-10 last night.
Why are you reminding of this? We know that.
Well, I'm just in case somebody forgot. 47-9. Wow.
The Cowboys at home this year,
28-25,
have led for a grand total of 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Wow.
And that was against Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Now, they have trailed in all of their games by 20 points, at least 20 points, which is an NFL record. They have also trailed by more than 20 points for 109 minutes.
You know, it's just really sad. It really is. And I know there's plenty of blame to go around. Everybody's going to throw it on Jerry, but my gosh, that's embarrassing. You can be a bad team and still be competitive. And the Cowboys aren't.
Yep. Now, you talk about competitive football. This weekend in college football, a couple of interesting nuggets. Texas gets Kentucky, which would be an interesting game. And sometimes you read stuff and you go, really? I mean, so the visiting team always gets an allotment of tickets. And a lot of times, if they don't sell out their allotment of tickets, they get returned to the home team to sell. So Kentucky took its entire 5,000-seat allotment. No visiting tickets were returned to the Texas box office. So they're expecting a lot of Kentucky types to travel into this game. And Brian Davis, who covers the Texas Longhorns, he tweets out, this is crazy, Saturday's game will be the farthest west Kentucky has ever played a football game.
Interesting, huh?
How is that possible? I mean, Kentucky, all their games, you read this, and he says, mind-boggling, Saturday's game will be the furthest west Kentucky has ever played a football game. Even a random bowl game. You didn't
Well, they haven't
schedule.
been in many bowl games.
Well, I mean,
don't know.
just the idea that Austin, Texas will be the furthest west they've ever gone.
Interesting. Well, the SEC, right? So
Sure.
all their conference games are there, but I'm surprised that, pre-conference games are not, that they haven't gone west. That's interesting.
It just seems that to me is just a very bizarre little nugget of information that nobody needed to know, and a lot of Kentucky types are going to Austin this weekend.
Yeah, why not? Go party on 6th Street.
Sure.
Hillbillies are coming to town. Get ready, Austin.
I was going to say, kind of like what we've been talking about with Jerry World being a destination stadium. You always get a lot of visitors. A lot of fans from Georgia were at the game that I was at. A lot of fans from Florida when I watched Texas beat the living you-know-what out of the Gators. I do that. Austin is a destination city, so I'm not surprised that a lot of Kentucky fans are saying, all right, let's go. That's going to be – and they're new on the SEC circuit, so why not?
You get the hell out of Kentucky, too. I have no idea. I've never been to Kentucky. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, let's stereotype everything, Joe.
It's probably a beautiful state.
Yeah, it is, I'm sure.
I have no idea. I've never been. You been to Kentucky?
I've been to Louisville, but not for very long.
All right.
It's like Alabama. Alabama's Alabama. I've been to Huntsville, Alabama, and I've been to Birmingham, Alabama, and had fun in both.
Yeah. Good folks, I'm sure.
Oh, they're all
yeah,
all
absolutely.
good
And,
people.
I'm sure they're used to the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I see all those executives in Austin with are they going to wear overalls in the stands?
Stop. Maybe.
They might.
Maybe.
I can pick on Kentucky. Why not? They're coming to Texas.
What are you asking me, Pledge?
I'm just wondering when to spin this wheel. I finally got all the names entered.
Oh, well, let's add more names to it. If you want to win a Texas Rangers World Series ring, we're giving one away on YouTube. And like we said earlier, it's all about following directions and paying attention. And apparently Pledge isn't, because I said we were going to do this at 5:30. We're going to spin the wheel and give away a World Series replica ring. All you have to do is go over to our YouTube channel, go search San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube, like the page, subscribe, and all you have to do in the comments, write, I want one. And James will put your name in the name generator thing, spin the wheel, and somebody's going to win one of these Texas Rangers replica World Series rings.
They're swanky.
It is that easy. So that'll be coming up at 5:30 is when Pledge will spin that wheel.
5:30.
5:30.
They've got to be still watching YouTube to know that they won.
That's right.
Well, that's kind of the idea, Pledge.
I'm just letting them know.
Well, some things are obvious.
Because, there's no other way to get a hold of you.
Well, that's one of the problems on YouTube is, one, if you don't have a real name, that makes it tough. And you have to respond quick enough when we do select a winner, which is why I did give a time at 5:30.
5:30.
So if you log off at work, you could log back in on the car. But you definitely want to make sure when we spin that wheel, you know who wins. And again, about following directions. I saw Mudslingers tweeted at Mudslingers TX, which is a great coffee shop. I want one on YouTube, and he tweeted that. Again, that doesn't get him in the running, but I appreciate the effort and the sarcasm there.
Nice.
But he is following direction.
He is, except he's doing it on Twitter and not YouTube.
Yes.
So he's about half right.
Yes. He's not in the running, I can tell him that.
Unless you go to YouTube.
Well, he can go to YouTube.
He can go to YouTube.
And all you have to do is write in the comments, I want one.
I want one.
That simple. So next Wednesday, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Angry Elephant, the place to go watch A&M play. And, because Thursday is Thanksgiving and Friday we're not working, so that's our pre-hype day to get you ready for A&M in Texas. And I think we're all ready for that game.
They're going to have a big watch party out there, right? Oh, my
goodness. The Angry Elephant is going to be incredible that Saturday.
I'm sure the Rue Pub will, too.
Absolutely.
All of them.
Yes. Now, you look at and you think about that game. One thing for you, me, Pledge, everybody to be looking ahead to November 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has Kentucky this week.
Yep.
A&M has Auburn. Mike Elko going straight coach talk today, coach speak, and talking about the focus that he has is on one thing and one thing only, and that's this Saturday.
I don't think it's an issue. I think when you're in the situation we're in, it's easy to focus on the task at hand. I think, those big games earlier in the year, maybe you look ahead. If we didn't have at stake what's at stake, maybe you would worry about it. I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now and locked in on what we got to get done.
You're locked in on what?
Texas.
I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now.
You cannot tell me, especially Mike Elko, and I know he trying to be a good coach and keep his team focused because I don't care how bad Auburn is. You have to travel there. It's not an easy place to play. Certainly not an easy place to win. So he's got to keep those guys focused on Auburn to set up that big matchup on the 30th in College Station. But clearly, you're thinking about Texas.
Or Auburn. We're focused just on Auburn this week, not Texas.
I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now.
Yes.
He caught himself.
He did.
Oh, I wish I could put those words right back in.
We'll have to play that for Andrew Monaco on Friday.
I don't know what they call it in Aggie Land, violating a culture pillar, but I wonder what Jeff Traylor would do there if his team did that.
Slip of the tongue.
Now, look, you look at A&M, and these are what the ESPN analytics are saying right now. They've got a 40.1% chance of making the SEC championship game. Now, if Texas A&M can win its final two games, finish 7-1 in conference play, they would earn the number one seed in the SEC championship game, according to ESPN analytics. Texas, however, has a 78% chance to beat A&M. The Longhorns have a 73% chance of finishing 7-1 in SEC play. The Aggies, a 14% chance to finish 7-1.
Wow.
That game's going to be at 6:30 at night. I don't blame everybody for looking ahead. And, they announced the TV time. A&M, their best win, LSU. Texas's best win, they don't have it yet. Right? and again, you look the rankings things when they come out tonight, it will be interesting to see what it looks like. And I don't know if it matters as much for Texas tonight, but, for the Big 12, where is Boise State? Could they end up with the bye and not, say, a Colorado or whoever comes out of the Big 12? But A&M, can they move up high enough to be in that? Because right now they're not the first two out that group. They're in that group behind it. It'll be interesting to see where they jump up this week.
Well, and look, they've got to win out.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they have to. And just looking at it, because I'm curious and I like looking at the betting lines, Aggies are only a 2.5-point favorite at Auburn. I'm telling you, that is no gimme football game for Texas A&M. And you better forget about Texas for a few days and concentrate on Auburn, or it's going to be a very sad plane ride home.
Well, listen to your head coach. I mean, he is clearly focused on Auburn.
I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now.
Yeah, well, it better be. And whatever he said. Texas, Auburn, it better be both, but Auburn first.
Yeah, again, I think all of us want A&M to go beat Auburn. and want Texas to handle business against Kentucky. What you don't want is one of those two teams to trip up this week and take some of the shine off, if you can take any shine off of what we're going to see at Kyle Field.
I don't think you can take any shine off. It's going to be huge no matter what. The fact that they made it a 6:30 kickoff, I think, is genius. That place is going to be rocking. It is going to be an electric atmosphere in College Station that day. But again, if A&M and Texas, for that matter, I mean, they can't overlook Kentucky, although they're getting that game at home. But the Aggies better not overlook Auburn. And if you do, you're going to come back and be very sad as you prepare for Texas.
Although, as big as this game is going to be, imagine if both teams win this week, you're playing for a spot in the SEC championship game. I mean, you put all the stakes in, boom. Go Aggies this week, go Longhorns this week. Don't do anything to diminish what we're going to see. In fact, add to it. Make it more meaningful. It's kind of like UTSA. Friday night in the Alamo Dome, they've got a game against Temple. Temple just fired their coach. Generally, teams fire their coach, they play better the next week. Temple's coming in. UTSA needs this game to become bowl eligible. It's a Friday night, 6 o'clock kickoff in the Alamo Dome. In fact, we've got some tickets we'll give away right now. Let's give them to caller 7, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 7, you're going to go see UTSA and Temple Friday night in the Dome. If you don't win your tickets, buy them. GoUTSA.com. Let's talk some Cowboys, Texans. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the Hurt app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen, so download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. You can find the Hurt app in the App Store and Google Play and learn more about it, along with the Ortho Now Injury Clinic, online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Writing 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The boys are on the East Coast for their first of 2 arch rival meetups this season with the Washington Commanders.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Manny Jr. from Rock's Discount Vitamins. If you're looking to build muscle, strength, and boost athletic performance, check out our huge selection of anabolic pro-hormones. These powerful supplements provide your body with essential nutrients for muscle growth, faster recovery, fat loss, and even improved bone health and libido. Visit one of our 12 San Antonio locations or go online at rocksdiscountvitamins.com to learn more. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for your continued support. rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Nigel, why is there a giant turkey standing on my desk?
That's Harold.
Well, then whisper these words, Nigel. Deep fried. From all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we hope your Thanksgiving is filled with food, family, and fellowship. We couldn't ask for a better community to be a part of. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
Last year's RV trip, we met a couple with the same bumper sticker. What are the odds?
Your cousin isn't a good storyteller.
He was a podiatrist, or was it a pharmacist? Huh,
you don't say.
Oh, I can't remember.
But she owns an RV protected by Progressive, and you don't. So until you get your own RV, her stories are the most interesting stories you've ever heard.
Wow, interesting.
And when you do get your own RV, save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive.
Oh, anesthesiologist. He was an anesthesiologist.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs in action tonight, although Victor Wembanyama will not be in action tonight. He's got that right knee contusion. He will sit out tonight's ball game. Well, Jerry Jones on his radio show today says he has confidence in his head coach, Mike McCarthy, saying he believes the narrative that he's lost control is, quote, overblown.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Tuesday afternoon.
Good Tuesday afternoon.
For Texans fans. For Cowboy fans.
Sun came up.
Day ends in Y.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
This season is just get through it. Find out what happens in the offseason.
It's kind of like you in the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge at sasportstar.com.
I did pretty well this week.
I didn't.
What'd you do?
8 of 14.
Yeah, I was 10. I had 10 winners this week.
I didn't realize that because I noticed I dropped a little on the leaderboard, although, Pledge, I don't see you ahead of me anymore either. I'm at 109 total wins, tied for 8th.
109. I have 106.
Okay. A guy named Ruben is in the lead at 118.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Couple people with 115.
We won $1,000 in awesome tickets.
That's it. I mean,
wow.
Get your picks in for the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge. The local winner will get $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets. Weekly winners get that gift card to Mellow Mushroom, which is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
In fact, we were golfing on Sunday, Pledge and I, and a couple of friends, and Pledge was talking about Mellow Mushroom. He's like, man, I had a craving for their pretzel bites and beer cheese, and I ended up getting that in the Mighty Meter. And, man, I've been thinking about that ever since you said that on Sunday, because the Mighty Meter is my favorite pizza there. And you're right. The beer cheese they have with their pretzels at Mellow Mushroom might be the best in town. I don't know who else does beer cheese quite like that, but it's fantastic. It is their pizza. It's fantastic pizza.
It's a great place. It really is. A good place to go. The pizza is fantastic. I don't know if I've ever had the beer cheese, though.
You've had plenty of beer and pizza.
And cheese.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say it's that.
Well, no. You haven't had the pretzel bites.
I have not.
You would know if you did. You didn't have to question it. The other thing they have there, which their calzones are incredible. Now, granted, you almost have to share them. I don't know if you can eat an entire calzone. Even Pledge can't finish an entire calzone. Pledge is like, well, that's 2 meals when I get the calzone.
Uh-huh.
Large pizza is one setting for Pledge. The calzone is 2 meals.
Large pizza, really?
Yeah, for Pledge.
Wow.
He'll devour that thing like a piranha.
I don't know. I'm going to have to, make myself order something else when I go there. Because if I go there, it's pizza all the way.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, at lunch, although they do slices at lunch, but I've gotten the calzone at lunch, and then it came out, and I'm like, what the hell is I mean, there's no chance.
No chance.
No chance I finish this thing. Although it's fantastic, but, yeah. So get your picks in already, looking ahead to next week, and pay attention because, next week with the holiday and Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff, you want to get your picks in at the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge at sasportstar.com. Of course, most of us added a win last night. It was almost like a gimme pick.
It was.
I don't know anybody that took the Cowboys to win that game, and if you did, I appreciate, and Jerry appreciates your loyalty. But when it's one thing to root for a team, but when you're making picks, you have to go with your brain, not your heart. Most people did that, I would assume, so it was a gimme pick.
I don't know about that. I had a guy call me, and he had me question it, right? Because I talked to this friend of mine from time to time, and I say, who are you taking tonight? And I told him Houston, and he goes, man, Houston, they haven't been playing very well, and they're a little bit banged up. So you really like them -7? I said, yeah. And I told him, man, you can see the text. I said, yeah, because the Cowboys are a train wreck.
Yes.
So he said he ended up taking Houston, but he wasn't really confident in it. So I think the Cowboys, just like they fooled me once, shame on me. They won't fool me again. But, yeah, you figure they're going to win another game this year, right?
Well, they got the Giants.
Well, that's no gimme.
Well, and again, you almost want, that's almost like a draft pick game. I mean, this is the Texans beating, who was it, the Colts, to go from the 1 pick to the 2 pick to get C.J. Stroud. They would have taken Bryce Young.
Yes.
And Cooper Rush might have beaten Bryce Young last night.
I don't know. They've got the Panthers.
The Panthers are coming up. The Giants are coming up. Those are the wins for the Cowboys. Typically speaking, you can say the Cowboys are going to win a game they have no business winning and lose a game that they have no business losing.
That's under normal circumstances.
Yeah, this year, that rule is out the window.
So, wait a minute. I'm sensing a beer bet here.
Oh.
So you're thinking they're going to go 2-0 against the Giants and the Panthers?
I did not say that.
I thought that's what you said.
You said, do they have a winnable game? They have 2 winnable games. I did not say they were going to win those games. I said they are winnable.
Well, why don't you say that, and we'll put a beer bet on it?
Because did I not just say you got to sometimes pick with your brain and not your heart?
I just thought you were confident they were going to get a win. You were talking about that Giants game like it was already in the bag.
You said, is it winnable? It's a winnable game.
Ah, okay. Well,
will they win? Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, he's coming to town.
I mean, DeVito plays well. I mean, he's yeah.
That's right. It was Tommy Cutlets. Remember this dude? When he
course.
first had the scene, we're going to Italian restaurants in New York City, and everybody knew him
They
there.
were selling jerseys, went into the Did he, or was it his agent that went into the Italian American Hall of Fame? DeVito hasn't done enough yet. Is he still living with his mom?
I don't know. It's a good question.
You figure now he's making enough money, he doesn't have to live at home. But then again, why not?
I remember he took a bunch of stuff for canceling his pizza remotes or trying to charge too much.
Exactly. Well, yeah, his appearance fee went from like $5,000 to $20,000 overnight. The pizza joint's like,
can't do it.
Yeah, in your best New Jersey accent, go F yourself. We're not paying you that.
Hey, yo, I'm walking here. Hey, yo, hey. Hey, Tommy, cutlets. No, it's pretty good, actually. Hey. Be stealing my Lucky Charms. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Tommy.
Go to YouTube if you want to win a chance at winning a Texas Rangers replica World Series ring. It's 510. We're going to spin the wheel in 20 minutes. If you want your name in that wheel, the name generator on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, and just in the comments write, I want one. Pledge will put your name in the deal, and at 5:30 we'll spin it, and somebody's going to win a replica ring on YouTube only. So go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel for your chance at doing that. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us coming up. We'll talk about last night's Cowboys-Texans game. Man, I thought I was going to get easy money from my underdog fantasy pick yesterday in their pick'em game, which I love playing because Micah Parsons, half a sack. I thought that was going to be easy. I didn't happen. Micah didn't get a sack. Not one sack from Micah Parsons. Mixon, total yards, I went higher on that. That was easy. CD, higher. That one turned green. It was Micah Parsons who let me down last night. You want to have more fun watching games because you can win money, do like me and over 5 million other players have done, and that's play the pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you just have to go higher or lower on predicted stats. Need to check what the Spurs are doing tonight with their game. No Wemby, so Devin Vassell's playing. You look at some others, Chris Paul and assist numbers. You can even go sport to sport. What are they doing in college football? And this season right now, Underdog's running specials, promos, or bonuses just about every day, like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at the W. Free picks, basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick. So download the Underdog Fantasy app, sign up with my promo code STAR deposit, and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, get signed up at Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy today.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
I have to ask the sun. At some point, is that ever going to be addressed?
Talking about it.
In the stadium, the 325 sundial effect, it just seems something that we can fix. Let's put some curtains up.
Okay, noted.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
When you're injured in an accident, you shouldn't have to face it alone. At Thomas J. Henry, your fight is our fight. When you hire Thomas J. Henry, you will have a dedicated legal team fighting for your best interest every step of the way. We've given over $1 billion to our clients in just the past 4 years and have earned more than 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. Trust the firm that fights for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Doug.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating!
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What is GMTVCC? That's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Seminix. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. And don't forget, on YouTube, if you want to win a Texas Rangers replica World Series ring, just comment, I want one, at 5:30. Pledge is going to take all those, put them in the name generator, and we'll pick a winner. We kind of did that today because, you know, at least for the Houston Texans, last night was kind of a ring game, a hat and T-shirt kind of game. Their Super Bowl, and I think we all thought they were going to win that one fairly easy, and final score says it was, but it was a better game for the Cowboys. Let's talk about it with Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And I put it that way, at no point, Charean, did I think the Cowboys were actually going to win that game, although I was fairly impressed that they were in that game. It was a 10-point game in the third quarter.
Yeah, you know, I think that speaks more to the Texans and how they're just not playing real well despite being 7-4. They're just not putting teams away. And we saw it last week against the Lions, and they ended up losing that one, and the Cowboys certainly weren't good enough to keep up with them in the fourth quarter last night. But, yeah, they're struggling a little bit. The offensive line is not that great. They really miss Will Anderson on defense. But, you saw how much they missed Nico Collins and what a difference he makes their offense. But, yeah, the Texans have got to start playing better if they're going to do anything in the postseason. They're obviously going to win that division, but you got to be better than the way they're playing right now. And frankly, that score should have been far worse than what it was.
Charean, that's true, and it probably should have been. There were a couple of pick-six opportunities for Houston that they didn't take advantage of. But I really thought that the Cowboys missed some scoring opportunities with some errant throws by Cooper Rush. That Jonathan Mingo pass late looked like it would have been a touchdown. One that I can recall to CeeDee Lamb was off that would have been a big gainer. I think some of those, maybe it makes the game a little closer, maybe it doesn't. But I think Cooper was a little off at times last night.
Well, let's talk about the field goal they took off the board and ended up getting no points out of that. The fake punt, which they said today is a player, when the players on special teams see that what the other team is doing, they call it automatically. Well, you got to think about situation and how far you have to go to get the first down and all those sorts of things. So that was a mistake. I mean, there were just so many mistakes, little mistakes that they made. A missed 40-yard field goal. We never see that from Brandon Aubrey. So, yeah, they left a ton of points on the field that weren't put on the scoreboard, and that's unfortunate for the Cowboys, but that's kind of where they are right now. I said when the sheet metal came down, it was, perfect metaphor for their season. The sky is falling, and it's been falling.
Well, and Jerry did say we need to tear it down and build a new one. I know he said that tongue-in-cheek, but then it's just going to fall apart. I don't know. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz. Last week, Rico Dowdle was declared the lead back. No more running back by committee. A commitment to the run game. He had 10 carries, yet Cooper Rush threw the ball 55 times. That's all on Mike McCarthy. And as the head coach, he would, fire an offensive coordinator named Kellen Moore for doing that. How does Mike McCarthy justify 55 pass attempts from your backup quarterback in a game that was a two-possession game within reach for 3 quarters?
I don't know, but he said today he's not giving up play-calling duties to Mr. Schottenheimer, Brian Schottenheimer. So he's going to continue to do that job, and, yeah, it is a question. You need to run the ball better than that, more than that, and better than that. That's 2 things you need to do, and they didn't do it. And so, yeah, he ended up throwing 55 passes, and that's too many passes for any quarterback to throw, much less a backup quarterback who hasn't thrown that many passes in his career. Bad things can happen, especially to a backup quarterback when he throws that many times, and I think we saw that. And especially the fumble, and of course he wasn't credited with the lost fumble because Tyler Guyton picked up the ball, but that fumble was on Cooper Rush, make no mistake. So we had 2 turnovers essentially, although the interception's the only one that goes against him. But you turn the ball over and you do bad things when you throw that many times in your backup quarterback. So I don't want my backup quarterback throwing 55 times in a game. I want to establish a run and try to play some defense. Thought they played good enough defense, frankly. I mean, you take away the offensive touchdown, and they did okay defensively. They did well enough defensively, but the offense just wasn't able to generate enough points, despite the chances that they had to put more points on the board.
That's absolutely true. Charean, I've got to ask you, though, about the offensive line. Obviously, a bunch of injuries. When I saw Zach Martin, that was just sad to me. I mean, the guy is a first-ballot Hall of Famer, I think. I think we all agree on that. But to see him struggling this year really makes me kind of sad, to be totally honest with you. Do you think he might be done after this year?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. I think this is his final season. Now, he hadn't said that. And maybe he gets in the offseason and rests some and decides, I don't want to end it like that. I'm coming back for one more. But just the way he's played, the injuries that he's had, and all of that, the season that the team has had, I think this is the final year for him, and it is a sad way for him to go out, both with the way he's playing and the way the team is playing. I know it's not what he wanted, but probably stayed around 1 year longer than he should have, and guys do that. And who knew that he would go from all pro to the way he's played this season? I know he didn't expect that, and injuries have probably are part of the reason to explain why that drop-off has happened. But, yeah, I have no doubt, again, he may change his mind in the offseason, but I as we sit here today, I have no doubt that this is his final season.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz. You looking for anything kind of bright spot from last night in this Cowboys season. Brevin Spanford had 41 plays last night, looked impressive. Mingo didn't have any catches, and you'd like to see what he's going to be like in the future. Schoonmaker played well last night. So Flournoy, some of those other guys, like Cowboys are playing a lot of young players, and with a record like they are, you kind of want to see, okay, what can these guys actually do in an NFL game? Yet Mike McCarthy said today Cooper Rush is going to start. He might have a package or will have a package. Will he use it? Becomes the question for Trey Lance. Jerry said this morning on the radio up in Dallas he doesn't want to see Trey Lance start. Why not?
Well, I asked Jerry 4 questions last night, and I put up the post this afternoon. And I asked it 4 different ways. And the last question was blunt. You gave up a 4th-round draft pick. I understand you not wanting to see him before now, but you're sitting here with the record you're sitting at 3-7. You're going nowhere. You're essentially out of the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. We all know that. You gave up a 4th-round draft pick for this quarterback. He becomes a free agent in March. Don't you need to see in a regular season game with starters what if he's made progress, if you want to re-sign him? And he said Cooper Rush gives us the best chance to win, which was what he said on every single answer. The only question he gave me a different answer on was when I asked about what improvement have you seen from the day Trey Lance got here in August of 2023 to now? And he went on about, well, his footwork's better and this, that, and the other's better, and I've seen a lot of improvement. The guy just needs reps. If he needs reps, why isn't he out there playing? And I don't understand it. Now, they have a lot of games left. I get that. But to say, well, we want the best chance to win, what difference does it make? At this point, you should be wanting to lose as many games as you can possibly lose to get the highest draft pick that you could possibly get. I mean, as a team, that's what all these teams, I think there's, 15 teams now, 14, whatever it is, who have 4 wins or fewer. That's what those teams should want, is to get the higher draft pick. So at this point, it makes no difference. To me, you want to get Trey Lance out there. You want to see what you have in him. People say, they've seen it in the preseason. They saw it in the preseason with 3rd stringers and 4th stringers who are no longer on this roster. I want to see what he can do with CeeDee Lamb as his receiver. I don't expect much, but give him that chance. Let's see. Give him that chance. Draw up a game plan that's for him with CeeDee Lamb, with the starting offensive line, with the starting running backs. And again, I realize they don't have that many weapons, but that's what I want to see. If I'm the coach and the GM of this team, well, the coach isn't going to be there. If I'm anybody who's going to be there next year, I want to see Trey Lance in a regular season game to see what I have in him. And Jerry not only said, does he not want to see him, told me, not only does he not want to see him this week, he doesn't care to see him the entire season, which to me is an indictment of Trey Lance. They've already decided he can't play and we're not re-signing him. I get that, but at this point it doesn't make any difference. Put him out there anyway.
You may have just answered the next question that I have as to the reason why they don't want to see him out there. And that's as good as anything. And that's a head-scratcher, Charean. The other one that I am baffled by is Dalvin Cook. I don't know why they brought this dude in here, and then they're not going to play him at all.
Don't understand. I don't understand some of the moves that they have made and are making in this thing. And, they talked about, like McCarthy said, oh, no, we're playing young players anyway. We don't need to see more young players. If you told me that Dalvin Cook didn't play him because we're sitting here at, 3-7, 2-7. They weren't 2-7, but 3-6 and 3-5, and we're sitting here and we want to see some of our young players play. I would have bought that. Like I said, all right, cut him for the practice squad, let him go somewhere else. But that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying at all. Mike McCarthy said it last night. No, we're not going to play any more young players just to play young players. We have enough young players out there. We're going to play to win. We're going to put our best players out there and play to win. I can't imagine that he is their worst running back. If he is, again, why is he even on the practice squad? You need to move on from him. So I don't understand some of the moves they're making. Maybe they don't understand them. I don't know. Maybe Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones are at odds with what they're doing because Mike McCarthy kind of sort of is trying to win now, save his job, save his reputation, however you want to phrase it, while Jerry Jones is looking to 2025 and going, we got to start getting ready for next season at some point. Now, he hasn't looked at that yet, but I'm saying he has a much longer-term vision of what he wants, just simply because he will be here next year and part of the rebuild, and Mike McCarthy won't be. So Mike McCarthy is not looking long-term whatsoever, and you can't blame him for that.
Absolutely not. The frustrated Charean Williams joining us here on the Blitz.
As we all are,
Her
right?
article at ProFootballTalk.com also, you can feel the frustration as you were typing that out. Last line of that article at ProFootballTalkPFT.com. So as it stands now, the trade with the 49ers for Lance ranks as one of the worst in team history. I do have a theory, Charean, that I want to run past you as we talk about Mike McCarthy's job security. I think we all think this guy is gone at the end of the year. I do think one of the reasons why Jerry Jones will not fire him mid-season is punishment. Jerry is not going to reward Mike McCarthy by sending him home for Thanksgiving, 2 months of pay, and not have to sit through this mess. I think this is Jerry Jones saying, I've got to watch this. So do you. When your contract expires, your key card won't work, but I'm not going to reward you by sending you home early and getting you out of this mess.
Oh, very well could be. There's no question about that. Very well could be. I mean, it's a lost season, and they are going to change coaches at the end of the season. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's part of what's that going to do for us anyway? It's not going to change anything. Although, you look at some teams that have done that, and it particularly the Saints, it has paid dividends for them. Saints are playing much better. I love Dennis Allen. DA's my guy, but they're playing much better since they made that move, and Darren Rizzi has taken over as head coach. So maybe, if you give the job to Schottenheimer or Stoffel, the players respond a little bit. Okay, and we got what we wanted. Let's go maybe play a little harder. I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't done it. And just the excuse of, I shouldn't have done it with Wade. I was there that night in Green Bay when that team quit on. You didn't have a choice. That team quit on Wade Phillips. They stopped. I mean, they were done. And you didn't have a choice in the game. Now, I haven't seen that with this Cowboys team, and maybe there's a point this year when that happens and they quit on Mike McCarthy, but they certainly haven't quit yet, and maybe that's part of it too. Who knows what goes through Jerry's mind? I sometimes I can figure him out, sometimes I can't, but your premise makes as much sense as anything else that's been thrown out there.
Yeah, I think we could throw things out there and you say, okay, maybe.
He's not going to pay him not to work, but he's not going to. I think for right now, and just watching Mike McCarthy last night, every time they showed him on TV rolling his eyes, the "Want to Get Away" commercial was playing in my head. It would be a reward right now to send him home 2 months before the season is over, and Jerry's not going to do that.
Well, and you can go back to the off season. It's the same reason they didn't fire him in the offseason, knowing that this was his last season, because they didn't want to pay him to sit at home. So your premise, it makes perfect sense. It's the reason he's still there, not only today, but for the start of the season, because they could have made a coaching change before the season started, because he went into this season as a dead man walking. with what they did in the offseason, there was no possible way he was going to save his job. So it was his last season from the day the season started. That was the end, and he's still there today. So, yeah, he wasn't going to pay him not to work. He wasn't going to pay him off and hire somebody else and bring another coach in here, pay off the entire coaching staff. And he's not going to pay him now, as you said, to go at home and sit and watch TV and try to find a new job. He's going to make him stay till the bitter end. Again, unless something like that Green Bay game happens where this team quits on McCarthy. I do think he's lost the voice in the locker room. I do think that's happened, but I don't think he's lost the team. They are still going out and playing hard. I mean, they were fighting with the Texans, 3 or 4 times. That just shows me they have a little bit of fight in them, and they played to the end. I haven't seen that quit like I saw in the middle of that season with Wade.
It'll be a fun off season again, Charean. You know,
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Make sure you read her at Pro Football Talk. Watch her there as well. Follow her on Twitter, X at NFL Charean. Always appreciate it, Charean.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online, buyersbarricades.com. All right, so we've got the ring. We've got the ring generator going. Do we want to add any more there? We went over with Charean because, man, you could just feel her frustration. My goodness, people, if you could see the number of names that are on that wheel. Yeah. I can't even so do we want to add to it? It
looks full.
Well, I mean,
then you make it as much as you want.
Yeah, you just keep adding, and it gets smaller. So why don't we do this before we'll take a break. So you've got time to get to the YouTube channel, San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You want to win the World Series replica ring. Just right in there, I want one. Once your name is on there, it doesn't go on there twice. I see some double dipping. That doesn't happen. Just I want one. Get it on there. When we come back, we will announce the winner, talk about the Spurs tonight as well. There's some big Spurs news, too. So keep it tuned. You got to be watching when we pick the winner because you got to be able to collect it and give us the information. So get over to the YouTube channel, the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. I like how every line is ringing. We didn't say call. We'll give away that ring and talk Spurs coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you a way you can feel like a winner every single day. Put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home. You know, one of my favorite things, honestly, is getting out of bed. I have a cup of coffee, and then you get in the shower. And the shower just feels fantastic. It is unbelievable. Then you put on the clothes that have been washed in that great water provided by Connecticut, and that feels fantastic. I'm telling you, everything feels better with a Connecticut quality water softener. It is the most popular water softener on the market. And, well, Connecticut, no stranger to San Antonio and South Texas. They've been serving this area for over 50 years. One of the best things I like about it is it doesn't run on electricity. It doesn't. You don't plug it in. So you never have to worry about electric bill going up or a circuit breaker breaking or anything like that. But it does provide soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And for a limited time, the fine folks at Connecticut, when you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, they're going to install a reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink for free. Absolutely free. This is fantastic. It's purified water right at your kitchen sink. The water tastes better. Perfect for cooking. The coffee tastes great. And you don't have to buy bottled water anymore. You've got it right there at your sink. Remember, though, it is for a limited time, so you do not want to wait. And I'll be honest with you, they've got a great warranty. That's for sure, but I've never heard of anybody that uses it. Connecticut's don't break down. They are fantastic, best in the business. Financing is available. They also have a rental program if you want to check that out. The first thing you got to do, though, is give them a call. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873. Or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday hump day on the Morning Huddle. We talked about the Spurs, their Emirates Cup matchup last night with the Thunder.
And the latest from Jerry Jones. What did he have to say about the massacre on Monday? All that and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks. The unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B. You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit IFFhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
I'm at a smoothie bar, asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. if you're watching on YouTube. We appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
San Antonio Sports Stars, all you have to put in the search bar to find our YouTube channel. We're giving away that Texas Rangers replica World Series ring. All the people, and you got to be watching right now if your name is on there, because you got to contact us immediately or we'll move on. All right, Pledge, go ahead and spin the wheel. And the wheel is spinning. All those names are on there. And it should tell us who the winner is right about, let's see, Miguel Martinez.
Wow.
Miguel Martinez.
Dude, that is cool. I've never seen that in action.
You didn't know that's how we did that?
I knew that's how we did it. I've just never seen it in
Oh,
action.
yeah. Yeah, so Miguel Martinez, congratulations. You win the ring. Make sure you contact James Pledger. You can call Pledge or and call him, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Steven's like, where's the wheel? Yeah, we don't have a way to put that on the camera.
No, we don't.
You got to trust us.
We're trustworthy.
We are trustworthy.
Yes.
We are. Spurs do have Oklahoma City tonight. Game night, San Antonio. No Wemby tonight. Vassell, a question mark there. But in other Spurs news, well, one of the nationally televised games already hits the trash can. Yeah. The thrilling game between the Spurs and Atlanta Hawks, December 19th, was going to start at 8:30, was going to be on TNT. Now, 7 o'clock on the CW. I love how it says the game will no longer be broadcast on TNT.
And I bet if TNT had their druthers, they'd take this one off tonight, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, this could get ugly. And Wemby's not playing for sure. If Vassell's out as well, ugh.
Although Kevin Harlan was in Dallas last night for the Monday night game on Westwood One Radio. So hopefully Kevin Harlan is in San Antonio tonight, because that will make tonight's game a little more interesting, especially with Wemby dealing with a knee injury. Perfect time to talk with Dr. Lane Naugher, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line for our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com. Doc, the other night, the Friday game, banged knees. They took him down into the tunnel. Then he came back into that game, but he's missed the last two. What do you figure he's dealing with as far as just a bone bruise or contusion, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, it sounds like he just took a hard shot, knee to knee. And sometimes those are, kind of a glancing blow, and you can get back in there. But some of those really hard shots, bone to bone, can actually swell up later and really cause some discomfort. And like he's experienced, having to have to shut it down for a few games. Usually it is something that's not a long-term issue. You just got to give it some rest that first week or so.
Wow, so it could take up to a week before that's ready to go. Or, I mean, obviously it's hard to tell with Wemby, but this will be his second game out. We could be looking at another game or two?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it really just depends on how bad it is, how much the swelling progressed. I mean, even some contusions, you see football players can get contusions from a hard hit that on the knee. If it bruises the bone, it could be even potentially longer. Now, just on the way it looked, I'm hoping that it's not that long for him, but I think they're just being cautious as well. It's early in the season, just protecting him. And if he is kind of slow, it may be something that they're just not wanting to risk another injury and giving him a few days off.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Dr. Lane Naugher joining us here on the Blitz with our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. I'm curious about what's going on with Vikings rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy. We all remember, he had a knee operation back after hurting himself in the preseason, but and it was meniscus, and you're done for the year. Now they've had to go back in and have another surgery because it's swelling during his rehab work. And he also got a biologic injection. What does all that mean? What does that tell you?
Yeah, to kind of break that down, the first part, it is a little unusual to have to go in and do a second surgery after a meniscus repair. So, we've talked many times, some folks have meniscus tears where we go in and we just clean up or remove the torn piece. But especially for younger folks and athletes, and what he had done was they did the knee scope or the arthroscopy and stitched it back together. Now, during the recovery, it's letting it heal for the first few months, and what it sounds like is he probably had some just continued discomfort and maybe even some continued swelling that a lot of times could be that there was a part that didn't heal, or maybe some of the stitches that were used, maybe something like that is still giving some irritation and causing problems. And so it is unusual to go back and do more surgery, but it sounds like they went back in to most likely do a small cleanup. And then the second part is a biologic injection. That's using living tissue, usually somebody's own blood or blood marrow, to stimulate a healing response. And so a lot of times we'll use steroid shots, but in the case of a biologic, it's using the patient's own blood or products that are used to stimulate some healing in a recovery setting like this.
You know, Doc, that's interesting that you say that, because I've heard people that have gone through and done that. How does that work when you use your own blood and you inject it into a different part of your body?
Well, to be real frank and honest, that a lot of ways we don't really understand fully how it works. Now, specifically, one biologic injection that's most common, we call it PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. That's where we take blood from an IV and spin it in a centrifuge, and it separates out the different products of blood. But specifically, PRP has been shown to potentially augment things like a meniscus repair. We can potentially help it heal better, or in the setting of needing more surgery, to help it heal better after that. We also use it a lot for things like arthritis or certain conditions like tennis elbow or tendonitis, where we're trying to stimulate a healing response and use it like we do other injections to try and make pain go away and potentially help things heal a little bit quicker.
Interesting.
Doc, not on the injury report, not really an injury, but did you watch the the fight Friday night up at Jerry World between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
I saw some highlights. I can't claim to have seen every punch or every round, but I saw some highlights.
Well, nobody actually saw them all because it kept buffering. My question, all the pre-fight hype videos that Mike Tyson released showed speed and glimpses of what Mike Tyson used to be. The fight, he just looked like a 58-year-old man that couldn't barely protect himself. And I'm curious, if you were watching the fighter with the highlights, from a medical professional, why in the hell was that man in a ring?
Well, I think it all comes down to finances and incentives. It's an economic. I think that's what makes most sense. Now, watching it, of course, and from the medical standpoint, yeah, I think it's a terrible idea. The fighter that he once was, just age and father time catch up with everyone, and you could see it, just the endurance, the speed, and those are just natural progressions. And I think it's for most people it'd be dangerous. He's at least able to defend himself a little bit, but it still wasn't much to watch.
Well, and since it was a setup, I think he was going to be just fine. That's my opinion, yeah. Doc, not yours.
Well, and again, though, how does somebody have training videos where they look spry and look like they can still fight and still punch with power, and then you get into the ring and none of that's there?
Hey, I could get a video of you running a 50-yard sprint one time, but if we put it on for 5 minutes, I think we'd see the truth come out.
I don't think you could do that, Doc, at all. Not a sprint.
I actually sprint in slow motion.
Well, maybe editing. Editing helps as well.
Even if you sped up that film, I wouldn't look like Tyreek Hill.
No, not at all.
Good stuff. Doc, always appreciate the knowledge and insight.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Dr. Lane Naugher with our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com.
I find that fascinating when he's talking about the PRP and the way they do that. I've heard great things. Never had it done, but I've heard great things that it really stimulates healing and helps things heal faster than they would just regular.
You should ask about your elbow and see if they could do that.
I'm going back. My elbow looks pretty good, actually.
Actually, it really doesn't.
No, you know what? There's no fluid in there anymore. That's the elbow. The fluid is gone. That's just my elbow sticking out of there. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, see, now they're at the point. They got rid of the fluid. Now they can just cut it off.
Well, or shave it down or something. But, again, it doesn't hurt. I'm not going to go under the knife for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
If it bothers you, that's Just too bad.
Well, it doesn't bother me, but it does bother you.
It doesn't bother me at all.
You're always fidgeting with that little...
That's the first time I've fidgeted with it today.
That you're aware of.
There is no fluid left in there.
Subconscious at this point.
No fluid in there at all. It's just all bone. But it is weird how that thing's sticking out, so I'm curious to see what the docs at TSAOG had to say about it when I go back.
Yeah, Frank says, I'm going to need arthroscopic to fix my meniscus. Dude, go get it done. Go see the docs over there at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. They're fantastic.
It's called old age, Frank.
At what they do.
I don't know how old you are, Frank, but sounds like an old man problem.
A friend of mine had his knee replaced over there at TSAOG.
Yeah.
Dr. Bell did it, and 3 months later he was golfing.
Yeah. How about that?
Get it done. Get it done. Speaking of done.
Replace my elbow.
We're done. Don't wear it out, man. I don't know who the guest is tonight on the Cowboys Hour, but I'm sure it's going to be a riveting conversation coming up here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, we deserve the win.
You're locked on the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday at noon. The boys are on the East Coast for their first of 2 arch rival meetups this season with the Washington Commanders.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 11. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
If you're a bacon lover, boy, do I have good news for you. Hi, this is Mike Kilbasa, and we've